Welcome to the Ascendant Art Podcast. I do appreciate and hope that if we have any viewers coming over from Culture Stream, where he was nice enough to put the link in, that you guys are going to stick around and enjoy the show too. I do see some of our regulars already in the chat. We got Bad Take Bojan, Low Spec Linux Laptop. We got Josh Hammond, who was trying to get mad early.
Just right off the bat, before
Right
the
off
show
the
even
bat.
starts.
Unfortunately, Matt is being mad and is probably out at the store for the next
he's
14
matting
hours.
in action right now.
Oh, I'm gonna have to do some artwork for that. matting matting in action to like the beginning. We got Smokey out of New Zealand coming in here. Yay. Bride of Slender, who clearly is probably in your proximity, but is still saying hello in the chat.
Yep.
And Soul Assassin, welcome. We're gonna have a fun show tonight. We got a couple reviews of some new content that has just come out this week. I saw the new Reagan film, so I'll share my review on that. We've got Slender, who suffered for us watching the first 3 episodes of Rings of Power that dropped.
So much suffering. So much. like if you thought the first season of Rings of Power was bad, oh boy. Ooh, we're gonna have a long talk about that. We'll save that for the end because I got so much to say.
Yeah, Slender made visual aids. It really got him going when he like goes to the Microsoft Paint to make.
Dude, when I go write down quotes, I'm taking notes on crap. I grabbed screen caps. Like I could put together a PowerPoint presentation on why this thing sucks so bad.
I think by the end of the season, if you stick with it, we might have to go through that. It's
If he sticks through it for the season, we're not going to pay for his therapy.
I don't know. There might not be any therapy needed. Slender may not be here anymore if he watches the entire season.
Can a human head explode spontaneously?
According to Scanners tells me yes. Yes, they can. Let's see. Soul Assassin says, poor Slender, actually feel sorry and have a bit of respect for you watching that crap. Yep.
It took me 2 days. I started it last night. Like I'm like, oh, it's like 8 o'clock. I can watch these and be in bed before midnight. And I got through the first episode, and about 15 minutes into the second one, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to bed early. I'm going to bed at like 9:30 tonight. Screw this. And I watched the rest earlier today.
Yeah, it's not a good one. So I think we'll start. I sent out some invites to some people who had seen the movie besides me, but I don't see them here. So we'll go ahead and maybe I'll start because it's not going to be the most in-depth thing because I don't think it needs to be, which is my review of that new the new Reagan movie that came out, simply titled Reagan, starring Dennis Quaid. This is the shot that is the hero moment of the movie, so to speak, which is the Mr. Gorbachev tear down that wall speech in Germany. So I don't feel like I need to avoid any spoilers since it's a biopic. By the way, I do love the way that Culture calls it a biopic. I've always called it a biopic, like biography.
Because it's a picture.
Yeah,
and it's a biography style.
So when they write BIOPIC, I always called it biopic because I knew what it was, biography picture. Like that it was talking about. Bad Take Bojan, no spoilers. I have tickets for Sunday. You've lived through it.
Right, but
there is nothing that is not factually known. They are not covering unknown territory.
Dude, I bet a lot of people who lived through Abraham Lincoln's presidency didn't know he was hunting vampires.
This is true.
Yeah.
That's true. At no point, spoiler, sorry, Tina. At no point does Reagan hunt vampires in this movie. So if that spoils you, unfortunately, I am sorry about that. It is interesting. So the movie does function in that new biography sort of setup. If I had to compare this, it almost seems like they lifted the pacing from the Johnny Cash one that Joaquin Phoenix was in. was that what was the name of it? Was
I know what you're talking about. I don't remember the name of that movie though.
I don't now. You know what? I've conflated it with the parody one, Walk Hard. it's it was the dang it. What was the name of it? Imp, do you remember?
Not a clue.
Let's see. I'll just put it in Johnny Cash movie. Walk the Line. All right, Walk the Line.
Walk the Line.
All right.
Okay.
Brahma in yeah, you were slightly slower than Google, but right up there. Walk the Line. So it does if you remember Walk the Line, the very beginning of the movie is right at the Folsom prison concert. They show him, doing the Folsom, like getting ready for that. Then they do the
Right.
flash all the way back and do his life, and then they work back to Folsom, prison.
Yeah.
So they do this is very much styled the same way. They start at the big moment.
Yeah, they do the Tarantino thing where they show you the climax, then they go back to the beginning, and then they resolve the climax.
Yeah, so it's a framing, but they do a weird. They change it up. They do a curveball, and this part, Tina, if you care about how the film is framed, you may want to drop out for about 5-10 minutes, because I'm going to give you fair warning. I'm only going to be talking about the technical aspects of it. I'm not about like the acting or the plot and how they do it, but the technical part in this case is the spoiler kind of thing, because it's Reagan's life story. If you know who Reagan is, there's no new ground, right?
Gotcha.
If you were around, especially Tina, who was actually of voting age. Tina, were you able to vote for Reagan in? No, you were probably. I would guess George Bush might have been the first one for you.
Side question: is that the Big Lebowski on the right there?
No.
Damn.
This movie is chock full of cameos from actors that you just are like, oh, I recognize them. So yeah, by paying attention to the context clues from Tina over the years that she's been our chat, I picked up that 88 was probably the first presidential election she was voting in. So yeah, correct. But yeah, there's nothing particularly new. It is interesting. You got Dennis Quaid in as the lead. You've got do you remember The Shadow? The Penelope and Miller, who was the female lead of The Shadow, is the one playing Nancy Reagan. Who and she's fine. The only thing that throws me off for that is that if you remember Nancy Reagan, she was so skinny, like ungodly skinny. And I guess there's just no actress that could really pull that off. Hey, look, Mad's here.
Hello.
Oh, hey.
Hello.
What's up,
Yeah,
man?
I do like Penelope Ann Miller. She's good. Thanks. Did you probably haven't seen the movie yet, I'm guessing, Mad.
What movie?
Reagan?
No. Why would
No,
I have
but
seen it already?
Because
My
it
mic
came
low?
out. No, it sounds fine to me. Chat, you can
Yeah, let me know,
comment.
because my circle is when it lights up, it's very small.
Well, that sounds like a personal problem.
They got
yours
pills
looks
for that
small,
these
too.
days.
Oh, Matt, I am glad that
Wait, you
you're
get
here.
pills to make your butthole bigger?
I'm sure they do, actually. Um, Josh Hammond had a chat that was just for you, so I'm going to highlight it from earlier if you want to read it out.
Fuck off. I'm not reading that.
Okay, I will for you. It's life's a mystery. Everyone must stand alone. I hear you call my name, and it feels like home.
Ugh. It's so good until it gets into the whole disco beat to it. Like if it would stay very somber, like emo Evanescence style, you know what I mean? I think it would be a better song.
An Evanescence version of like a prayer.
My Immortal.
Actually, I could see that. That would
Yeah.
that would be like
He's not wrong. It's
doing like the
true.
yeah. So all right, so the movie is good. It's
Boom.
perfectly
Take
respectable.
that, Madonna.
Yeah. it's just kind of like a TV movie, though. It the production quality is perfectly acceptable, but it's not anything great.
Like something you'd see on PBS.
Or
Yep.
like an HBO limited
Yeah,
series, like what
it
they
would-
did with Ben Franklin.
Yeah, it would be actually.
Oh no,
I would
Adams.
say
It was Adams.
the production quality is actually slightly inferior to those, and I only say that because when they did the period movies like John Adams and things like that, you could tell they were spending a lot of money on the sets and the costume and all that. With this one, it's because it's set in mostly the 80s. I mean, it's just suit and it's political, so it's guys in suits. It doesn't seem as expensive. And they've got every actor who's ever come out as slightly conservative in the last like 20 years in this. If you're like, oh,
Well,
is Nick
yeah, so
Searcy in
there's,
it?
like,
Yes,
6
Nick
people.
Searcy's in it. Yes. Is John Voight in it?
I
Yes,
was
John
about to say,
Voight's
is
in
John
it.
Voight in it?
Yep, John Voight's in it. Is Dennis
Hulk
Quaid in
Hogan?
it? Yes. Nope, but Kevin Sorbo is.
Oh,
I
man,
mean,
Kevin
it's
Sorbo. He doesn't have the talent to really. You know what I mean?
they keep his part really limited,
Thank God.
which is so there's a few where you can tell that they're
Is
doing
John
it.
Voight the one who was on Ben Shapiro today?
Yes, he
plugging
was
this
actually.
movie?
I didn't watch. I never watched the interviews, but yeah,
So
he
that
was
was
on.
all right.
Ben Ask-
So John Voight, you're all right. So you weren't here for it, Matt. But one of the things that took me out of this movie, and one of the biggest problem for me, is they have the older actors playing the younger versions of themselves, like 60 years younger.
Are they de-aging them?
No, they put makeup. They're using makeup, and it doesn't
boy.
work.
Makeup
Like, they
can't
have-
de-age your voice.
Look, they have John Voight current year, who's like got to be in his
95.
80s, 90s, and they're having him play a 50-year younger version of himself.
I mean,
And
that's
all
still
they're doing-
Him and Reagan grew up together, right?
Yeah. So what they do is first when he's old, he's John Voight is a skinny old man at this point. As you get older, your body starts to shrivel a little bit. So he's clearly like that old man skinny. So when they show the younger version, they put basically 3 boxes of Just for Men hair coloring into his hair.
Oh boy.
And they pad his suit out. It's almost like it's a business suit, but it looks like one of those
Like he's
superhero
wearing
suits from the
Superman-
90s.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
Superman
like-
muscle.
Yeah, where it's trying to be like, look, he actually wasn't skinny back then because he was
Oh.
younger.
You think they used Nick Cage's the prototype for his Superman suit underneath
You know what?
his?
If you've seen like that, they still have the fake Nick Cage head and body on that
Yeah.
suit. That's the level of makeup when they were making them the younger versions of themselves.
You know, the de-aging thing doesn't always work because remember that movie Martin Scorsese did for Netflix with
The
Robert
Irishman?
De Niro? Yeah, and they de-aged him, but it was still, oh, you're gonna say younger man that still walks and moves like a 97-year-old.
Yeah, that happened when we were talking about. You remember? It was God. It seems like forever ago when we talked about Indiana Jones, and we're like, oh, they de-aged. You can de-age the like face on screen,
Yeah.
but you can't. You didn't de-age the voice or his mannerisms, his old
Or
man.
the way he walks, his
his
posture.
old man walk.
Yeah.
There is a distinct old man walk, and it
but I
is
don't
just what it
get-
is.
Would it be that much more expensive or difficult if you take a young actor and take the young face of Harrison Ford and
I was
Digitally put
thinking
it
the
on-
same thing.
on
You
the young
can
actor?
digitally tack a face to an actor in a
Right?
mocap suit. Like
That's what they tried
and
to
it
do
looks
to
really
Ryan
good.
Gosling in Fall Guy.
yeah.
You don't even have to do that. I'm gonna bring up a clip while you guys keep talking about because I'm gonna show you something that
By the way,
it's from a movie.
Is
Go
that
ahead.
got his name? Damn it, he's one of my favorite politicians. What's his name? Y'all know him?
Oh, are you thinking of Mikhail Gorbachev?
No, Bush's vice.
Oh, Cheney.
Yeah. Is that Cheney to the right of him?
No, this is supposed to be in Germany. That would be
Oh yeah, Cheney wasn't German.
I believe was his name Helmut Kohl, the Chancellor of East Germany at the
Yep,
time.
that's
or
him.
West Germany.
Yep, I can see it now. 100%.
Because this is the hero
I'm trying
moment
to
of the
figure out if
movie.
you're full of shit or not right now, Mad. You're really good at
What?
pretending like you're not full of shit when you're full of shit.
Obviously, this is Germany. You can see the German architect, the
Stop it.
architect in the
Stop.
back.
You're killing me.
See the blue wall? They're all about the walls. Or they were at that time. So I'm
All
guessing
right.
that's not a California flag to his
No,
right.
this is supposed to be in Europe. This is
I was
the
about to say they fucked up the bear.
no, the hero moment for this movie that they build around is the tear down this wall
Yeah, the wall
speech.
right behind them.
Yes, the Berlin Wall. So, here, let me. All right, has anybody actually seen Age of Adeline,
No.
which
Is that
is
in
a
Australia? No, that's
no.
Adelaide. Sorry.
Age of Adeline was a, and we, by the way, for all the females in the chat, this has not been a good
Tina.
week for Blake Lively. Yeah, Tina, because apparently they've just the entire internet has decided she's just a terrible bitch.
Right?
And
now they're dragging fucking Ryan Reynolds down with her, saying,
Oh,
what was it?
Look at that! It's more than one. She said hello, right? And of
what did
course,
they say? They said that they're
Ryan
their
Reynolds is getting
motivation.
drugged too.
no, like both of them, like their goals or whatever of wanting to be whatever is toxic. You know what I mean?
Wanting to be a healthy, well-adjusted family.
Right, and also be successful in their business. All of that
Oh,
is
yeah,
very toxic.
Very
To-
toxic.
I will
Show
say,
up on
Davina,
time for work. What kind of expectation is that?
Well,
I,
white people.
I
Go
do
with it.
think that Blake
Yeah.
Lively is actually her real name because her sister is Robin Lively of Teen Witch fame, if anybody remembers that movie.
True.
And she was also in Karate Kid Part 3. She was the love interest that Ralph Macchio wouldn't allow to be a love interest.
Wait,
And that was, you
not
never
Hilary
heard that
Swank.
story?
No, that's
no,
right.
this is Karate Kid 3.
Okay,
That's
yeah.
the one where he has to fight karate's bad boy, Mike Barnes.
In Japan?
No, that was Part 2. That was in Okinawa.
I don't even know if I knew there was a part 3.
No, Part 3 is where Terry Silver got introduced.
I don't know
Yeah,
who
and
that
tries
is.
to turn him into a bad guy.
He was a
All
bad
right.
guy. He always was a bad guy.
No, he tries to turn Ralph Macchio into a bad
Yes,
guy.
he was always a bad guy.
Okay, real quick.
I
I'm
know
gonna-
this, but at the time, everybody thought he was a good guy.
So I'm going to
That
play
was an
this
illegal
clip.
kick,
So
It was.
Age of
And he
it
was hitting on somebody else's girl. What did he think
right?
was going to
Broke the
happen?
Look what he did when they were at the dance or whatever.
I'm not going to
Disgusting.
say
Broncos.
I'm not going to say that Ralph Macchio was basically a prototype Jersey Shore bro coming out to the West Coast, but that's basically how he behaved the entire movie.
What's the chick's name in the original Karate Kid? What's her name in the movie?
Are you talking about? Oh, her
Whore?
name was no. What was her name?
Oh, Kamala. It was Kamala something, right? Kamala Harris?
No, that because she was busy working at McDonald's someplace. Somewhere.
She did the fries.
She did the fries. What was her name? Because it's Elizabeth Shue is the actress. I just can't remember what.
Hey,
they made her
Elizabeth,
name.
let's smush, you know. That's my
Because
Jersey Shore,
that's when he was on the beach and he like kicked the ball into the speaker.
right? And broke the boombox. Or wait, or was it his boombox that got broken? I can't remember. He's still the bad guy.
Bad Take Bojan apparently has a fantasy world where Blake Lively is her best friend. So apparently, Bad Take Bojan is Taylor Swift in her fantasy world.
Ooh,
Oh,
Taylor
dude,
Swift
she
may
needs to
need
get all
him.
the Swifties to endorse Trump.
I mean,
Oh well, one of her best friends did. That was Patrick Mahomes' wife.
fuck yeah, repping that 903.
Yeah.
That
So
was pretty awesome.
and then apparently, like they had to do damage control where they're putting out stories about how they have an agreement not to talk politics.
I guess
as
thought of
friends.
Allie. Hey, Allie, you want to do the smush? Oh,
Of course,
he's
Brahma
trying
would
to
know.
steal it.
All right, so this is Age of Adeline had an older Harrison Ford because the concept of the movie is that Blake Lively's character doesn't age. So they
This
had
movie
it
came out when?
years ago, like 15 years ago.
Okay, but
So what
modern
they
times.
yeah, modern times. So this is how they handled dealing with how to have a younger a person being Harrison Ford.
Not bad at all.
No, that's Anthony
He's got the
Ingruber.
right smirk.
Yeah, he's
Wait
like
till you hear him
15, right?
talk.
I won't.
All right, all it needs is a push start.
Oh boy.
Just lose the brake, I'll give you a push. Your pocket
That's
clutch,
actually
and you'll take
really
off.
good.
This
Like,
dude.
that does sound like a young Harrison Ford.
So Anthony Ingruber, because he got told he looked so much like young Harrison Ford his life, spent like years developing the cadence and the
Didn't he
speech
used to go on
pattern.
Collider?
Yes, he used to do
I know
like
exactly
impressions.
who it is. That's who
Yep.
everybody wanted to play the young Han
Young-
Solo in
yeah,
Solo.
And that's why that's when we talked about this before. Is like, how did you not just cast Anthony Ingruber? He knew he looks like him. He spent years working out the cadence and speech pattern. It's perfect. He's even the right height. He's not going to be like whatever his name is, where he's like a foot shorter than Harrison Ford, so it looked terrible.
Just teeing it up for Kathleen Kennedy. She's like, nah, I'm gonna take another strike.
Yeah,
Watch
Soul
this one
Assassin.
sell right over the plate.
Yeah, he was in the running for Solo, but got rejected for the other guy who was Anson Elric or whatever his name was. But it was like, this is how you do it, and you didn't.
Kathleen Kennedy is that power hitter who's still waiting on their pitch, and it's September, and they are still waiting on that one pitch.
Yeah, so I think what they should have done, for Reagan, is gotten younger actors to do the younger parts, and just moved and moved into Dennis Quaid when he was supposed to be older. It would work much better. Definitely, having John Voight playing. If you've ever seen John Voight from like Midnight Cowboy when he was young, that was his age he was supposed to be, but he was playing that age as he looks now.
Man,
and
nobody watches silent movies. My God. So
it was from like 1969.
No, when you said he was young, he was like 40.
John Voight, let's see, he was born.
Dude, I would say by acting standards, 40 is pretty young.
Yeah, true.
A 40-year-old can still play a 20-year-old.
He would have been
even
30.
a high schooler back in the 90s.
Yeah, he would have been 30. So
okay.
So John Voight was born in 1938. So what does that make him? He is
dead.
So how old is it? It's 48, 58, 68.
Everybody be quiet so we can do the math.
He's like 76.
Well, that's younger than I thought.
And they have him playing a 30-year-old version of himself.
I think with the makeup, it works better when you're aging someone up, except in that Captain America movie from the 90s. But in most cases, it works better if you're aging them up or making them look different. Like Penguin, right? With Colin Farrell looks amazing in both the movie and the upcoming TV series.
Yeah, because they're just. I'm gonna find. Okay, perfect. I found somebody put online a picture of his young. This is.
Oh, Chad, your math is getting hated on in the chat.
Is he 86?
I felt like that was a little young.
Okay. I was fine. I was doing it fast with my hands.
It's not about the makeup. Just in the video, are you saying, hey, just put a wig on John Voight and let him act?
Okay,
as if he's
there you go. That's John Voight when he was supposed to be like, this is how they made him look young. This is the young John Voight in the movie.
He look like a bloated JD Vance.
He looks kind of like maybe he's not alive, like he's a vampire or something.
So that's him talking to Brezhnev. So that would have been basically 1980 in the movie. So he was supposed to be 40 years younger than what he was later, when they had him talking later parts of the movie. So this is, if he's 86 now, this is supposed to be 46-year-old John Voight. If they're going with, like, look at that. That is not.
That is a rough 46. That's like a Brahma 46.
Yeah, you can see the Just for Men wig that he's got on to try to make him look a little younger. They puffed up his skin so he didn't have that old man's super skinny frame, where your skin is just all tight on your body.
I bet they still did some digital bullshit with his face.
I don't know if they could afford it because the guy he's talking to, the one who he's talking to who played Brezhnev was Robert Davi. And again, any actor who's ever espoused any slightly conservative statement was apparently in this movie. And even if they were completely miscast for the roles they were playing,
who did Dana White play?
Dana White. I didn't look to see who he was in there. He might have been playing Vince McMahon. Who knows? What does Tina say? We were all coked out of our brains in the 80s.
True, I was about to say, where's the coke residue around his nose?
Yeah, Davina, he was playing Brezhnev, so he was playing a heavy. He was the premier of the Soviet Union.
Heavy. Who is that?
Do you remember in Die Hard, he was one of the FBI agents, the white one?
Oh, Johnson?
Yeah. He was the white Johnson.
Not Johnson, but Johnson. Yeah, I remember. Yeah. I know who he is now.
I feel like I'm back in Vietnam.
With the pox scarred face, right?
Yeah, he was also in Goonies. He's plays bad guys all the time. Yeah, so this is an example of how they de-aged people in the movie, and it just took me out of it every time. It just
Did you get to see
didn't
that
work.
what is it, greedy people that I asked for? I haven't seen it yet.
It is on there, yeah. It's
You haven't watched it though?
I perused it through to make sure it was a good copy,
Yeah.
and I do like Lily James. I am an unabashed fan of Lily James.
I'm a
So
big JGL fan. Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
the Hunter biopic is going to need an Escobar descendant to handle its scenes. Yeah, they're going to have to.
Wait, didn't they already do one of those with Gina
Robert
Carano?
Davi, like Robert Davi made that movie, yeah. So
I never saw it. I'm like, oh boy, this can't be too good. They really
Yeah.
tried to do what Vice did, or no, it was more like the dude that did the movie with Christian Bale, where he was a money guy and super smart, but he was autistic.
not Rain Man. The Accountant.
Yeah.
That
No,
was
not
with
The
Ben
Accountant.
Affleck.
Yeah,
not
no,
Christian Bale.
I'm talking about Christian Bale. He was autistic, super rich, and was investing money or whatever. Is in the housing bubble burst.
Oh, the Big Short.
Yep, that one. Like I think they tried to do it in that style with the narration going on, like what they did in that movie with Harley Quinn, whatever
Yeah.
her name is.
Margot Robbie.
Yeah, Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah, JGL is the Joseph Gordon-Levitt code. Yeah, there is a Trump movie coming out with Sebastian Stan playing young Donald Trump.
Oh boy, and I've already heard some things. Like they were like,
Yeah.
it was so amazing, and it really showed who he really is.
Yeah, and that's because they included a scene where they decided that at some point Donald Trump must have R'd what was his first wife's name? Ivanka? No,
Yeah.
Ivana.
No, Ivanka's
What-
the daughter. I'm
Well,
surprised
whatever-
they didn't add that scene too.
I'm sure they would have thought about it, yeah. So that's why they loved it. That's why that movie is getting such a glowing
Mhm.
recommendation, is because they, that's what they all think. And yeah, I'm not surprised. I thought that I enjoy, like, I grew up as a child of the 80s and 90s. I have very fond memories of Ronald Reagan. That was a great time to grow up in America. I give a lot of credit for Reagan for that. And so yeah, I enjoyed the movie, but it was because I could fill in a lot of the gaps knowing about it. This was a rushed TV movie level, project. The acting was fine, the makeup was bad, the content was good. It's just an average, slightly above average movie. I wouldn't pay to see it in theaters. I'd wait for streaming, or however you can get the movie. So, ironically, you might get it from sources located in Russia. So, that's my thoughts on it. I know that Culture did his review. I had invited him on the show so that I'd have someone else who could go back and forth with me. It was interesting. If you watch his review, he was really positive about it, but then when he gets to the actual, like, really review part, he just says the same things like I did and gave it like a 6 out of 10.
Well,
I was
that's
like-
because you're not, and I'm not saying Culture is, because I'm invited to his thing tomorrow, so I'm not going to say anything negative. But you're not captured by your ideology. Like you'll see it with the left, right? Whenever they're reviewing the Acolyte or whatever, they're like, "It's so amazing. There's so much diversity. The script is a little bit, and then fucking the acting's horrible. You know what I mean? Like at the very end,
Yeah, and then they give it like a 9.
right?
And it's like a 9, really.
I think sometimes people get caught up in the meta of
Oh.
things.
Yeah, very much.
Yeah, what I will say was the most surprising thing, because I hadn't looked at a lot of the cast that was going to be in it, was I watched in the middle of the movie, Mina Suvari was playing his first wife. I believe it was Jane Wyman, right, who was married to the originally, and I was like, I know that it's that girl from American Pie and American Beauty.
Oh yeah,
Man, she got old.
Heather
No,
Graham.
Mina Suvari.
Oh, the even uglier.
Yeah, she kind of had the fish face.
That was the one that what's his name got stuck with, the
Um,
jock,
Oh yeah,
not Chris Pine.
uh,
Chris Klein?
Chris Klein, the one who
Yep.
was in Rollerball remake.
Yeah, that's a great movie. Oh my god, it's amazing. No bullshit. though.
JGL put out a Pro Harris.
I don't want to read this.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I like JGL. This is why I don't ever look up fucking people that I really like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I just ignore them until all of this is gonna be done with.
I think that's why one of the benefits to people like Chris Pine, not Chris Pine, Chris Pratt, and this is something that a lot of the conservative actors I think have to do in Hollywood, is because they do have conservative leanings. They generally keep their mouth shut.
Yeah.
To keep getting roles, so they don't go on social media being obnoxious about a lot of things.
Right.
Like if you look at Chris Pratt's social media, it pretty much is exclusively "I love my wife" and "I love America."
Oh,
And-
even that though, that's risky.
And that pisses people off enough on
Yep.
its own. So but that it at least like keeps it nice and like medium for the most part. You don't have anything that's gonna. What's the famous Michael Jordan quote? Like Republicans buy sneakers too.
Yeah.
Like, why? Hey Jordan, why aren't you more political? He's like, because I'm about that green. That's what he was about. It's like because Michael Jordan got a share of every Air Jordan
He
sold.
did.
So he didn't give a shit.
Did you see the movie Air with
It was
Matt Damon?
amazing. That is
I
how you
loved
do
that movie.
That one was great. And you
It
know
wa-
what? They didn't give a rat's ass that these guys didn't look exactly like. They didn't try to make it up, or they just let them be actors. They let
It was a
Matt Damon-
master class in how to mention whatever controversy there may be without even dealing with it. With the whole, these are made by a little slave labor in China. Blah blah blah. Like, moving on. Like it's just almost a throwaway line, just so that they can say that they did mention it in the movie.
Now, speaking of, this is a perfect transition because Matt Damon. This is an image shared with us by Matt, and
Yeah.
Brahma's here. Hey, Brahma. This is from a comparison shot of the lead character from Ubisoft, Star Wars Outlaws, and the Matt Damon from.
And I'm
Team
pretty sure
America.
since they are clearly twins, that this makes Team America canon when it comes to Star Wars. So in some corner of the galaxy, far away from here, there's a Team America happening in the same world that Luke Skywalker exists. That's not me. That's them. They did this.
Well, I mean, Luke Skywalker technically exists in our universe. It's just in a galaxy far, far away.
Right, a long time
And
ago.
a long
as well.
time ago.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but that
Man, wait until they get the internet. All this hologram fucking bullshit they use can be gone. They can actually communicate now. Like, let's say you're a Jedi Knight and your entire team was destroyed and killed by a Sith that was first time seen in centuries. You could actually just call your people, be like, "Yo, this is some crazy shit happening," instead of having to leave the planet for whatever reason and never telling anyone.
Meanwhile, the Sith is posting on Insta, feeling cute, might kill some younglings later.
Hashtag blessed. Hashtag rule of two.
hashtag the power of many. But man, the videos coming out and the clips coming out of this piece of shit game are amazing.
Hashtag Sith posting.
I think was it Asmongold who shared that clip where he was just standing in slightly overgrown grass and none of the enemy AI would shoot at him.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then he was running up to the enemies or whatever, and they still wouldn't mess with him.
Yeah, it was
Wait, the one I saw wasn't grass. It looked like it was on Tatooine because that's the only planet they know of in Disney.
Yeah,
Star Wars.
apparently, like when George Lucas sold the rights to the Star Wars universe, he kept all the planets. They didn't read the fine print, and he was like, "You only got Tatooine, okay?" Like
All the ones that weren't just covered in dirt.
maybe it's just they're like, we really agree with Anakin about sand. So it's like we hate sand.
I'll tell you what, too. In some of the scenes with this character, like I don't know what they did with the renders, but like her face and everything make her look like she might be part Ewok.
Really? I thought she definitely
Like
has like downs, you know?
something. There's something wrong with her.
I mean, she definitely looks like she is standing outside the fire. How far away from the fire is to be, you know.
Here we go. I'm going to share. This is one of the clips of the amazing gameplay. Wait for it.
Wow.
Oh, look at that.
Nope. Okay, cool. You got it on easy.
Like they
And now you've lost your bike.
Wait,
yeah,
what do you mean?
the bike disappeared.
Well, and you can't run up the hill.
Yo,
is
this
what it
is
looked
like-
like.
This is like first week of Fallout 76, man.
Well, the worst part, did you hear about this, right? They a whole bunch of people paid $120+ for early access. And then they had to fix bugs on day 1 and they were like, "Yeah, so those bugs were game breaking and you need to start a new game
Yeah.
in order to fix them."
Yep.
And it's like, so all these people paid 100, they're like, here's some, some free merch from the in-game store.
I mean, sure,
cool?
we're gonna
Yay.
sure we can we're taking away your XP, and everything else, but not the experience of playing it. You have
Yeah.
those. Those are your
We
memories.
wasted your time, but who cares, right?
But you
You
got
get
a lot
to
of
keep your
B-roll of a
memories.
bad game for your YouTube channel.
Just think about how good you're gonna be when you replay it.
Yeah, you'll be able to skip right ahead.
I'll say this: if they come out with a mod where they turn her into a bro, I may buy it.
I most certainly will not. But if they sell it for less than $20, I may buy it. Just so that I can
With a
say that
mod,
I
though.
played it.
To for a new fucking character, because I have no interest in playing that Fatata.
Patata. Patata. And here's another thing, because I don't know. Did you get the article I sent you earlier, Chad?
Yeah, I think I've got it. Let me pull it up.
About how like they're not even concerning themselves with the important stuff. Oh no, I don't. It doesn't look like I sent you the article.
Did you send? You sent me the one on Rings of Power.
Hold on, let me
Ooh, how's
let me
that
grab
going?
the article. I can find it.
Oh, we're gonna get to that one.
We'll get there. I'm gonna need a lot of time for that.
Oh, I didn't know that was a requirement. Viewing. Nobody told me.
Nobody
Oh,
can
it's-
make you watch that.
Nobody can make you watch that. I wouldn't even ask you to. I chose to. Okay, I put my hand in that fire.
I have enough shit that I watch that is horrible. I don't. It
We
just
know.
looks. It's not. It looks boring bad. Does that make sense?
It is. It is boring bad. It is also bad. Like really, really bad. But okay, I just put in the private chat. This was an article that, like, when I went to look up information on Star Wars Outlaws, because you were like, it's failing. And I'm like, is it? I haven't heard anything terrible about it. I got a whole lot of articles like that one I just shared that seem to have nothing to do with whether or not it's actually a decent game. But hey,
Humberly
First,
Gonzalez on being the
we've-
first Latina lead in franchise history.
I bet she was
Yeah.
very humberly about it.
yeah, we got a fucking first, so yay. And they're already talking, they're looking for a TV adaptation. Usually, you start off with like, let's make a good game.
Let me see if you notice what's not in this article. I'm
A
scrolling
picture
all
of
the way down.
Humberly?
A picture of Humberly, because this is what they did to her in the game.
Yeah, she's
me-
actually a very pretty woman.
Yeah. Did
if I
they
remember
ask her,
correctly.
"Hey, how'd you feel about how'd you feel about them uglying you up for this game?"
How would you feel about if we gave you like Henry Cavill's chin and Down syndrome?
Yeah. Did you find it interesting to
It's
see
Jay
yourself
Leno's.
if you had Down syndrome?
All right, let's see if this one.
That is the most flattering picture they found, and that's saying something. Like
Like
you know
I
what
said,
I mean?
there are some scenes where it's really bad. Also, like I heard some of the voice acting with the way the conversations are, it's really stilted. There's those weird long pauses between every single line of dialogue because they take a little minute to load up.
Now, who is this?
This
That's
is
the
Humberly
actress
Gonzalez.
that it's based on.
That's the
Yeah.
one that they took. They had her mocap, and do her whole thing, and they basically put the Instagram filter, the Insta ugly filter on her.
Well, maybe they're like, oh no, we don't need you for your looks, but you're the only one that can, really nail the movement of what we're looking for
There's-
of
yeah,
a
to be-
scoundrel.
Drab filter. It's the drab filter.
Yeah.
So
Well, and
just
then there's other
mirrors.
things like. Go ahead.
Oh,
Well,
I
this
was
is
just-
Vertical Horizon said Cameron Monaghan's Cal Kestis character from Jedi Fallen Order is like a 1-for-1
Yeah.
ginger
Yes.
image of
So
him.
disturbing. I was so happy that you get the beard in the second one pretty early on, so you can cover up that ugly ginger face.
Ginger faces are terrible, right?
So yeah, so Eric Myers, who's in chat, actually has a book out. You can go get it. It's a good one. His novel's teleplay feedback came back at 36%. Pretty sure I could still write a better Star Wars adaptation. Your book is way better than saying it's just better than being Star Wars level. So I wouldn't do that because that is a pretty solid insult at this point. When I talk
it's-
with Script Doctor, it's not highly regarded.
It would be so simple, and you just make it small. You make it a smaller story. You're already 10 times better than what they've been doing. You know what I mean? Just have it on a planet. Tell a story.
Or
It-
we
a
know.
lone
And maybe
wolf and
make
cub
that
story
planet
would be
not
perfect.
Tatooine, because we have had Tatooine about 70,000 times now.
So
Just
when
Just do a simple
Mandalorian,
lone wolf and cub story on a planet and keep it, small.
the first season of Mandalorian was as successful as it was because, like Matt just said, it basically was a lone wolf and cub ripoff.
Yeah.
And they were going to new places and kept it fairly small, right? He's going to kill a mud beast for the Jawas so they can fix the shit they
Right.
took from him. And then he's in a small town and he's basically in a Mexican standoff. It's the Magnificent Seven
Right.
kind of storyline, and it was very small. It was just a town, and if you look at the amount of stormtroopers there, it was probably one, maybe 2-3 platoons worth. Not really much. Not I mean, it's still a lot, but they didn't have like a friggin' like Lord of the Rings style army copy paste kind of thing. It kept it small enough to be realistic when they got away alive, but it also gave him enough stakes that it made sense. And that was the most successful Star Wars has been on television on Disney Plus.
It could have been not a procedural, but whatever. Like each week is a different story in like
Mystery of the
on its
week or
own.
Monster of the week.
Yeah, exactly.
Bounty
right? Like
of
a
the
bounty
week.
of a week, right?
Yeah, and
And then you can have threads of an overarching story, but nothing as big as the Mandalore planet.
which is
in the
I
water
have watched Andor. I'm one of the few people who apparently did from the ratings.
I got
the reason-
first 2 episodes.
Andor was pretty good because were keeping it smaller. He was doing and they had they would cut to stuff
Episode I
with
think you're-
Mon
Mothma.
where it was like laying the groundwork, and then a Skarsgård again. Damn, Skarsgårds are everywhere. And this time it was it Stellan Skarsgård, the dad?
Yeah.
Stellar Skateboard.
Yeah.
Taylor skateboard, yeah.
Yeah,
Look
he
up
was.
Wikipedia.
He was, he was the best character for bridging the gap between the rebellion that was forming and the small heist and criminal element.
It's basically the black market dealer.
And Star Wars is great for that. Like, if you read the expanded universe stuff, there's tons of things where it gets into the weeds on the Hutt clans and all that kind of, and they never want to at this everything. They make the galaxy so small under Kathleen Kennedy because everything has to have Yoda and everything has to tie back to Luke and Ahsoka.
Right.
This
But the
universe is
stakes
supposed to be
are-
so big.
and
You
the
can
stakes,
have
though,
stories, yeah.
The universe is small. Everybody's connected. Everybody knows each other. They never talk about anything important. Ahsoka should have never okay, Luke, I'll talk to you later. Nothing going on in my life. Bitch, there's a lot happening with you. You need to bring him with you. Anyway. So instead of
especially you'd think Ahsoka would have learned the lesson hey, communication
Right.
was really lacking between me and Anakin, and that kind of
Yeah.
led to a big problem.
when
I'm
Yoda
gonna make
asked if there was
sure,
anything I wanted to say, I'm like,
One might say the biggest problem.
So, but what I was saying.
By
was,
the way, I'm Ahsoka. I have a 20,000-year-old robot that's helped train Jedi the entire time.
You
Should
don't
I
need
leave
him.
that robot with Luke, who's rebuilding the Jedi Order from the
Who's
ground
gonna
up?
fly
No.
my ship?
Exactly.
No, so they make the universe smaller, but the stories are bigger than what they have to be. You know what I mean? Everything is end of life as we know it. Existence. Thrawn is coming back. Don't worry though, he's a complete fucking idiot. Ugh.
The greatest
Yeah,
military
dude, his-
mastermind of the Imperial side.
Oh my god.
Dude, his
hey,
strategic and tactical decision-making skills were extremely lacking.
Hey,
Why-
Thrawn, why don't you just close the doors? Oh, fuck, I could have done that. It's
Why
like,
do they
oh.
even have weapons on those starships if you can't hit 3 people on horseback, basically, riding underneath you? What is the point of all those weapons?
You'd think
if
he'd
you
be like,
can't hit
wait,
them?
there's a Jedi out in the middle of nowhere? Oh, no. We're not going to send a TIE fighter and a couple of soldiers. We're going to send a fucking battalion and an entire squadron of TIE fighters.
Right.
So, Eric, yeah, so it's the same Mickelson that played Thrawn in Ahsoka. The problem is, he was fine as a voice actor, where you
Yeah.
didn't, but the thing is, he wasn't willing to commit to go to, like, body boot camp
Yeah.
to look like
I heard he
Benedict
refused to-
Cumberbatch would have been probably the best, like, legit live action guy to play Thrawn.
Yeah,
I-
Benedict
'cause-
could have pulled it off.
Because he would have had the Cumberbatch went, like, even though he didn't need to for Doctor Strange, he went and got, in shape enough, like Marvel tells their males to do. And he's got the voice work capability. You've seen him do, like, when he was Smaug, and he knows how to
mocap and all that shit.
do mocap and do voice work. He actually has the look halfway there. The 2 guys who could have been Thrawn in live action that probably would have made the most sense are Benedict Cumberbatch or Matt Smith.
Well, so Mickelson though, I heard that he even refused to wear Spanx. He's like, nope, just gonna let it hang.
I
Okay,
think those
the
European
ladies in
actors.
the chat will get that.
He is the inferior Mickelson.
Well, yeah,
Oh, Mads
is
Mads
far better.
Mikkelsen.
Fuck yeah.
But he was already in Star Wars. They didn't waste him. They used him in Rogue Squadron. So
What was that movie he did? It's called Rough Riders, I think, that Mads Mikkelsen did, and it's fucking good. I really like it.
I don't know.
Y'all
the only
hear
one I
Sonic-
can think of is Knight's Tale.
wait a second. Sonic 3
Or was
saved
he on that?
Keanu
No,
from
that wasn't
playing
him, was it?
that Japanese Jedi and Acolyte dodge. I don't think Keanu was near the Acolyte. Not even close.
No.
He wouldn't be touching that. But
Riders
no,
of Justice. Sorry, Riders of Justice was really good.
in Knight's Tale, it was Rufus Sewell.
Yeah, Rufus, the
Who
same
was
guy
the
who was
best?
in Dark City.
Valhalla Rising.
Unless you're thinking of James Purfoy, who was playing the Black Prince.
No, I was thinking of Rufus.
No, I was talking about Mad because he
Oh, okay.
started the.
Wait, what?
Who
I
was
know
it
who
you
I'm
were
talking
thinking of? Okay,
Mads
you were-
Mikkelsen?
Yeah, but you brought up A Knight's Tale.
No, that was Brahma.
Yeah, I brought it up.
That was Brahma.
Okay, was it Brahma?
I was
Alright.
thinking
It
it was
was.
Mads, but it was Rufus.
Rufus Sewell doesn't get as much work as he should. He's a good.
It's because his eye freaks everybody out.
Yeah,
Oh, you got one of those Forrest Whitaker eyes?
Yeah. But he was great in Dark City.
Dark City was good. So yeah, so Ubisoft is stepping in it, like they. I don't think this game, allegedly, by the way, for the people who were the early adopters who paid $60 to $70 more minimum to get the 3 days early access, who got effed over on their save files.
Yeah.
What Ubisoft is doing is giving them like loyalty credits and a couple skins in the game.
Yeah, they're getting
Instead
free
of-
stuff that they could have otherwise bought in the in-game store.
Instead of refunds. Man. The only Rufus I know is from Kim Possible. Yeah, that's good.
By way of apology, we're going to give you something that costs us nothing.
Wasn't George Carlin Rufus and Bill and Ted? Wasn't that his
Yeah.
name?
Yep, that was
Yeah,
his name.
I definitely
Rufus.
know that Rufus too.
James Purfoy was good, and he was fantastic in Solomon Kane. The problem is that movie had no budget and tried to use a lot of CGI, so some of that stuff looks very weak. But the actual performance as Solomon Kane is perfect. He was also really good in Rome, which is probably the best show in the last 20 years on HBO.
What show?
All Rome.
Oh, absolutely.
It was good.
Well, The Wire though is the all-time great.
I said in the last 20 years. So I
Okay.
think Rome was, what was it, like 2000? Wait, no, maybe it's a little older than that.
Yeah, it's older than that, isn't it?
When did Rome come out on H? 2005. So I'm still in the window. Good, perfect.
Okay, so Wire.
Still in the window.
Still in the window. Rome was so good. Like, I mean, James Purfoy played Mark Anthony. Who was such a
Wire was from
dude.
2002 to 2008. It's in that same time period.
No, Wire started in the 90s.
No, The Wire started in 2002.
And a good portion of Game of Thrones would have an argument there too. Just not
Oh,
the end.
No,
No.
Game of Thrones, the back 4 seasons are ass. So no.
Right.
Yeah, that didn't happen with The Wire.
Yeah,
Maybe-
the Wire.
Parts that were
maybe
still
the second
under the
season.
books story was good.
What is the Wire? Shit.
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 Corruption in West
Yeah.
Baltimore? Shit.
As someone who grew up close enough and went to Baltimore quite often to see baseball games, Charm City is exactly like the Wire portrays. So if you're a tourist, you stay in that zone, that 3-block zone right around Camden Yards and the football stadium, and you do not
Do not
go anywhere
deviate.
outside of the inner harbor. Just get to your car and go. So, it is.
Yeah, Rome was only 2 seasons. It was
Well,
from
it was going to be more, but HBO decided they didn't want to spend the money but
Yep.
Rome was fantastic.
It was. As was Deadwood.
Deadwood
Mhm.
was, yeah.
Yep.
How they've decided to go, that they're willing to spend all this money on, Game of Thrones shows,
Oh,
and
my
these
God.
assholes wouldn't spend the money on. I mean, Deadwood was. I mean, I remember Deadwood was as famous, as popular as Game of Thrones ever was.
Oh, I don't
Ratings
know.
wise, I think
I
ratings wise.
I don't know.
That was a whole different time of what they were
Yeah.
spending on anything, though. I mean, they've massively increased budgets for everything lately.
Hey, how can we get parents to like watching Thomas the Tank Engine with their kids? Let's put George Carlin in it. Yeah, that was weird. And then we're like, when George Carlin gets too old, who are we going to replace him with? Alec Baldwin. Oh, that was great. Yeah, so this model got done a disservice. She's gonna, and I'm sure that in the next couple weeks after the game fails, it's gonna be toxic trolls went after a female-led game. When if they did a standalone game and made like Mara Jade the lead character and did it from the EU stories, people would go nuts for that game.
That would
Good
be
basic
acknowledging
attention
Mara
to
Jade.
detail, okay, you don't run up with your bare hand as a 120 something woman and backhand a stormtrooper in his helmet.
Oh, that
Oh,
was
yeah.
so good. Are you talking about in Obi-Wan?
Obi-Wan. No, they took the move from Obi-Wan and they put it in the Star Wars Outlaws game.
No, they
In the
didn't.
game.
She
Yeah.
does this with her bare hand. She'll backhand a stormtrooper and knock him the fuck out.
Wow.
They,
What
they
is the
also
point of
have
helmets?
several moves where apparently that little animal that's with her will jump on a dude's face and then she'll run up and punch him in the face and knock him out. And I'm like, guys, she's a scoundrel. She's not even a force user. She's a scoundrel who weighs maybe $140 soaking wet. She should not be knocking these people out. Like give her a stun gun or something, or like a glove with like little electrodes on it so she can shock them. Like make it believable.
I don't understand why the single player games refuse to have either a create a player mode or have the option of playing a male or female, like Assassin's Creed Odyssey, right?
Yeah,
I'm gonna put this on in the background. This is a YouTuber who decided that these are creative stealth kills. Let me see which channel, and let it play, and let's see how well do we think.
Creative stealth kills. I
What
can't
does that
wait.
mean?
We'll see. I'm sure we're gonna see.
Here we go. And where
Oh,
did the
wow.
actual
Look at
contact?
Whoa,
get-
whoa, whoa!
Wow.
They didn't even connect there.
It's not as if you have to pull your punches so you don't hurt the stunt man.
Pulling
It's a
punches
fucking
in the
video game.
Yeah.
Let's
Oh,
get
I
to
don't.
the.
I don't want to hurt these pixels.
Oh man, I don't think there's even a connection there.
So that's one of the butt face style aliens.
Oh,
What the hell
wait,
happened
maybe.
there?
I
Maybe
don't
we
know.
were
It
wrong.
looked like she made connection with his foot almost.
What
Wait,
happened to?
Does he have some power? That
Yeah,
does
did her hand just like?
like an
disintegrate?
earthquake? It looks like
Apparently.
earthquake.
It's that nanotech.
Yeah, so I guess she has the force because it knocked.
Yeah, like dude,
it
a
knocks
full-grown
sand.
man could punch like that, and you wouldn't knock the guy out. Like, if you try to knock someone out, you got to follow through. Like, you follow that punch to the
Wait,
ground.
that knocked him out?
Hold on,
Apparently.
These are kills?
yeah. So this is
Well, these are
Oh.
incapacitated.
Incapacitations.
Oh, okay.
so this is like what Slender was talking about, where you use your little animal friend.
Yeah.
Well, that's what it did on the first person too. That's why she slid by him and then shot the other guy, then went back and punched him in the face.
And then she slapped him, and he got knocked out by it.
Why did she do this? She had to do the. I mean, I guess she's doing it to look cool. She did the.
Well,
slide.
no, I
think
mean,
it was
that seems
supposed
like
to
a
be like a
player.
back fist, but
By the way, it kind of reminds me of, in Bloodsport when Ray is fighting the Chong Li, whatever his name is.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, yeah, I killed him. Yeah, I killed him. I think the problem was he didn't know what it means to kill. He doesn't know what death is because he clearly didn't kill that guy, but he's celebrating. Yeah.
Okay,
it's
so
kinda
now
like
she's taking on one of the like pig guards from Jabba's
yeah, they're
palace.
shit. We
Did
saw
she
them
just
in
have
Boba
her little pet go take out a
Okay.
security camera?
it looked like it.
At least she used a taser that time.
Fett. Did she just whistle?
Now it's weird that the pet doesn't seem to be setting off detection at all either.
Right.
Wow, I've never seen
Like,
that.
I think I'd noticed something like that.
Yeah, I've never seen that slow mo in Red Dead Redemption.
I mean, it goes
Fallout.
back like not even Max Payne. You know, Jesus, how
I'm-
many games back
Well,
do we
Max
have to
Payne was a
go?
little different. This one, you-
Metal
you're
Gear
marking them.
Solid.
Don't tase me, bro.
This is.
Yeah. So then she tases, then slaps.
Wait, you ran past all these people?
Well, she has her animal on its face or something.
Now? But the animal is way over there where she was.
Apparently, the guy couldn't see her 20 feet from him. You know, in an
Well,
open
she
space.
ran past him.
In a stealth-based game?
Yeah, in a
Or
stealth.
stealth-based level?
Smells like bacon. Wow, that's speciest.
This is pretty terrible.
Shut the fuck up, game.
This is a
I would've
AAA
called it
title.
bullshit if it was fucking Luke. Don't give me this shit. She did the double accent like she's fucking Randy Savage.
Dude, she is using a lot of wrestler moves that we
Right?
all know don't work.
Watch her pull out a sock and do the mandible claw.
Oh, wait. I think we might be close to where she open hand slaps a helmet.
Put him.
There it
She
goes.
punched the helmet in
Leg
the
lock.
face,
There- oh,
you
there it
hand
was.
slapped the
That was just a open palm.
Well, what did she do before? Maybe she's just an asshole and hurts them afterwards.
Like, this is simple programming.
we should've
You
never
put in
taught
more
him those
takedowns
keys.
and you run a check where is this person armored or unarmored, and you do an armored takedown for an armored enemy.
So we've got the first stormtrooper. Like she's open,
Barehanded too, man.
barehanded slap.
This one's the
Yeah,
punch
like
to
what
the
would make
dome.
sense for this one is actually like if she were to grab the helmet and get up under it with the taser and hit him like right under in the neck with the taser. But
You know,
And then
There-
rip off the helmet and hit the other guy in the face with the helmet.
By the way, Matt, as a former law enforcement officer,
Uh-huh.
when you were issued riot gear, did they
okay.
tell you, did they tell you how effective a person just punching you right in the riot helmet would be?
I'll say this after this. I'm like, man, Floyd Mayweather. In a way, they're all pussies. Not using the horsehair gloves. You know, I gotta have the padding so I don't break my fucking hand on a person's face. Look at this bitch punching helmets and shit. You don't need
Yeah.
no gloves.
No match for a woman's strength. Apparently, she's a maybe she's an Algerian boxer in the Olympics. Who knows?
Seriously, boxers will. Some boxers, if they have problems with their hands, they have to get away from the horsehair made gloves to do the real padding to make sure that their hands don't break.
All right, so let's see. First, she does. That's awful high.
She knees his chest plate.
Right,
Knees the chest
Yep.
plate, not the crotch, not a like zone of.
In no
Extremely.
way does that knock the wind out of him because it's a fucking chest plate.
I mean, immediately she'd be on the ground doing the Peter Griffin. Ow!
All right, she's backing up. So you think the people's elbow is inbound, right? Is
No,
that
it's
what?
a back fist.
Is
It's
this-
not even
No.
a spinning back fist. I don't know what that is.
Is this
This-
the only move she? I mean, she has like 3 moves, or are there more you can unlock?
So this back fist is grazing the side of the helmet because you can see how clear it's going across on the
Well,
animation.
and does anybody remember in the later Assassin's Creeds, you had multi-opponent takedowns
Mhm.
where they do something completely different if they were taking down 2 people?
Yeah.
This was just a single takedown and another single takedown, and they were
think
both
about-
stupid.
Think about the Ghost Recon Breakpoint. All the
Yeah.
different CQCs. There's so many. You won't even see them all, depending on where you're at. You know, elevation, angle, and all that could lead to an entirely different CQC.
Oh, dude,
We-
and some of those
Chad-
QCs are really cool.
Chad
Oh,
is
yeah.
on fire.
They're
We got
nasty.
Vertical Horizons, not even
Not
the Stone Cold Star.
Stuff.
But I got like Davina Judo Chop from Austin Powers. XY chromosomes power activate. That's y'all seen that video of the woman taking out dudes for a
Yes.
game and showing it in real life? It doesn't work.
Yeah,
No, I
it's a
haven't
whole
seen that video.
scripted choreographed thing where this little chick is beating up
Oh,
all
like
these
4 or
guys.
5 guys, like in a
Yeah.
tunnel or some shit.
And then it shows in real life, and she does her pose, and they all just beat the living crap out of her.
Well, that's the thing too. It's
I'll
like
see if I can find it. I think I bookmarked it.
I get
I
what
think-
they're trying to get across with this, but if a woman that size were to use any of these moves on someone like, me or Mad or Imp, like maybe
you
even Brahma, but Brahma's a grandfather now, so he's probably
True.
getting a little slower.
Brittle.
I like what
watch
Eric's
this.
saying. This is Stormtrooper armor from like Spirit Halloween.
Right?
It's like it clearly isn't
I
isn't
mean,
built to him.
honestly,
All right, it's in
Abby
private chat.
couldn't even do this to stormtroopers from Last of Us. And she was a fucking. No, nobody remembers Abby from.
Yeah, Big Papa Pump.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
She was an amazing golfer.
Have we confirmed this isn't force aided?
No, she's supposed to just be. She's female solo. She's
She's
supposed-
just an outlaw.
Yeah, she's not supposed to be a force sensitive.
All right, let's.
Pretty sure this is the one he's talking about.
Yep. All right, here's the movie version.
Fucking. This should be sent to every executive. Goddamn.
The second I
Hollywood.
saw that, it was like, nope, that's going into bookmarks.
Oh my god.
That is so perfect.
I am
I get-
bookmarking that one right now.
we
Oh,
got to let
so
it play
good.
again.
Because that is so fucking exactly what they would do. in
Yeah.
Yep.
Hollywood.
It's just a never-ending combo.
I love the just grabbing the bat because there's not enough force and you just
Yeah.
take it
Right.
from her, which is because
Even if it does hurt you, you're at least grabbing it and the other guys are going to jump on her.
I'm not saying every guy who's been around a girl has had a moment where they try to do and you can just take something from them.
Just
and it
put your
doesn't-
hand on their forehead and watch them push against you.
Or just move left.
As every all right, I'm just generalizing. Most men who have been in long-term relationships will have playful moments with their female partner where they try to use string and everything's fine and then when you're done you just be like move and you just one hand them out of your way and just can walk away and they're like, what happened? I thought I was like, no, I was letting you do what
You were
thought
rubbing all over me.
Yeah.
I was okay with
was
it.
cute for the first 5
It
minutes.
was like we were
Then it
having
stopped being
Yeah.
cute,
It's
so
like-
I
it was
stopped
like-
being.
But then you try to put your finger in my butthole, and that was the end of this.
That
like-
does usually end most of them.
yeah. Girls will be like, "We're having a cute tickle fight," and I was like, "That's fun for like 10
That is
seconds."
not
and
a tickle spot. That's a no-no
Yeah.
spot.
And as soon as soon as someone goes for the zone, you're like, "Nope, done, move." And they're like, "What?" Yeah, I could one hand you away in a second. I'm sorry, it's not a big deal. The Reggie Miller defense of holding a hand in their face.
Yep,
Yeah.
just this.
This is the Slender time for being cute over. Now go make me a sandwich, woman. I feel like that statement has come out from Slender's mouth on our show previously.
There's so many movies like the Hawkeye show. I mean, I'm watching it. I'm like, just use your weight. Just grab her. Just use your weight. You outweigh this chick by 150 pounds. Just lay on her until somebody comes around and kicks you in the face.
Ambientina for the win, as Good Take Bojan calls it. Are we play fighting to get me laid, or am I knocking you out?
Are you wanting a real massage, or are we just leading up to good stuff?
Oh yeah, that's perfect. It turns into that old wrestling commercial where Sting just beats the crap out of the little kid in real life. Do you remember that video? I think it was a video game commercial where, oh look, Sting's coming to your house, and he was like, "This is real fun," and then he just starts like, "We're gonna do this for real, kid." And he just starts throwing them.
I don't know why we're talking about this. Why we don't just have the video looping in the background with the sound off?
That would be perfect.
I mean, we could do a whole stream with that just looping in the background, and there would.
I
be
feel like if
thousands
we
of
do
views.
that, Mad would be on time every show.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I do remember this commercial. He's at the door.
Oh, you looked up the Sting commercial?
Yeah, it's the NWC. I mean, NWC. Jesus, the WCW.
WCW. How many of you guys?
Nitro
are
version
for
of Sting.
WCW.
When he went crow.
Yeah. Let's see. We've got. Here it is.
Yep, that's
The old letterbox.
Wow, the stinger.
Timmy, I'm from the Dream Come True Fantasy Foundation.
Okay,
ready to
couple
wrestle?
things.
You bet. Mom.
Didn't that
One-
kid get famous?
Was he from Malcolm in the Middle?
No.
No. One, it sounded so gay when he called him the Stinger. I'm like, that don't. And then two, do you have to come to their house with this codpiece?
It's part of the
course.
uniform.
You couldn't put uniform.
That's his look. That was his look in WCW at the time. Whatever. Eric Myers. Yeah, I saw the same clip
Dang it,
on
man, it's crazy.
Twitter. Shane's like biggest fall, and he would. This effer was jumping off like 50-foot things constantly.
Very impressive.
I mean,
Shane was
Turnbuckle
a
to
madman.
turnbuckle drop
Yeah.
kick.
Shane, I give
Let's
Shane
bring that
all the
up
credit in
next.
the world.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, him getting Kurt Angle trying to throw him through the glass.
Hold on.
You ain't
Now I'm
black. That
ready.
ain't gonna do nothing for you. You're not on a basketball court.
It looks so real.
Don't count on Sprite to do anything but quench your thirst.
You know what I bet? I bet since that was a Sprite commercial, they weren't allowed to call him Sting
What?
because
No, he went by Stinger as a nickname when it
Did
came
he?
to wrestling. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because when I would go to Nitros and things, I only ever heard him as,
Other
Yeah.
wrestlers would call him the Stinger, and like when they was tag teaming as their partner, that kind of thing.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, the 90s had some good wrestling.
Oh yeah, man.
late 90s was peak wrestling.
I swear that kid is an actor though. That
Yeah,
still
he
has
was
freckles.
acting right there.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
I
like,
don't think
still
he was really
acting-
getting his ass kicked.
No, I think like still acting to this day. Like grew up to be an actual actor.
Damn it!
All right, so this is the thread where this is an actual still shot of Shane McMahon.
You were doing so much to stay away from
Steve
Rings
Blackman.
Yeah. I am. Look at that was you don't even we're going to get to the actual video of this, but Shane who was it against this time? Was that
Well,
here
that's
we
the
go.
Big Show.
of power. That looked like Big Show and maybe Kevin Nash.
No, it wasn't Kevin Nash. I think it was Sullivan, wasn't it?
No, Kevin
No,
Sullivan's
that's
a short
Test.
dude.
That's
Yeah.
Test.
Oh, Test, yeah.
I mean, look
But
at
was that
like-
when Test was married to Stephanie or not?
That's when Test was still alive.
Well,
Oh, wow, way to bring
the
everything
whole
down.
the whole ring.
Right
is
as Josh
usually
Hammond
on
said, didn't
shock
fall asleep.
absorbers, but I don't think those can absorb that much shock.
No.
Look at this shit. Like,
Also, I think he went out of
Christ.
the ring.
and you can see. Look, they put a pad underneath it, but they put the like particle board above it, so that
Yeah, yeah, but still though.
it's still gonna
Yeah.
hurt.
He
Oh,
also
yeah.
starts leaning, but
Yeah. Dude,
Oh, this one.
him. I'm not saying it was easy, but I beat him.
Then we've got on top of was it Hell in the
the
Cell?
Spanish announcers table.
Yeah.
It's always the
that's,
Spanish announcers table. man.
Always.
But I mean, this was nothing compared to Mankind going over accidentally.
Dude, that wasn't even the bad one. The bad one's the second one he does. Damn, leave him hanging, bro. The one though, because he wasn't supposed to go through the cage on top when he got choke slammed.
Dude,
Yeah.
those guys are dressed like refs, but they're actually EMTs that are there just to make sure nobody got killed.
But if you hear him talk about the match, they knew that they were
Because he was
What?
actually an investor.
Edge Christian or
No, you're talking about
Gangrel?
JBL.
JBL.
Oh, dude,
John Bradshaw Layfield.
I had a friend that babysit for him back in the day. Yeah.
Soul Assassin helped me find it. It's Michael Angarano. He was even in Oppenheimer last year. That's who played the kid in the Sting commercial.
Oh,
Here's another one. We got Shane up on the top of a cell again.
Oh yeah, I'd be saying a prayer too.
Here comes the money.
You got to sell it. What just happened? What am I seeing? It's just,
He had to work so hard for it, and all his sister did was pull out her tits every now and then.
I mean, everybody
Oh,
has
and
God-given
Macho Man.
talents.
Yeah, everybody gets they have their role.
no, nobody heard mine.
F Macho Man. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
What?
loved when The Rock and Jericho were making fun of Stephanie right after she got her new tits. That was hilarious.
It was.
She came out with Rhino, and Rock and Jericho were feuding, but decided to turn on Stephanie McMahon and just start making fun of her.
Rhino.
You know,
and
I
his-
haven't gone back
his
to
midget
look.
Arms.
Do they still have? I know in the back catalog of wrestling, the storyline. Remember the storyline for when Triple H married
I think it's
Stephanie
still there.
was that he
Yeah.
drugged her and
Yeah.
went to a drive-through chapel and was just like, "Yes, I do."
Yep.
I mean,
Pretty sure
that's no
still
worse
there.
than when he banged Kane's dead sister.
Well, I mean,
Or what's her face gave birth to a hand.
Oh, Mae Young, one of my
Mae Young.
favorite pay-per-views. I watched it with my parents.
there's so much stuff that I'm just like, wrestling would be so. They should just lean into it again. I don't know.
Chocolate.
I know they're trying to be kid friendly.
Aren't they going to Netflix?
publicly traded?
And
but-
people are saying like, "Oh, finally we're gonna get some boobs."
No, they're doing a show, I think, on Netflix where they're going to be allowed to be a lot more risque and curse and do whatever else.
Well, they were on cable. They were allowed to do that stuff for years. It was always after the 10 p.m. hour on USA
That they what?
that they would like allow the cursing and some of the other stuff. They would. It was if it
Oh,
was
it was-
after 10 p.m.
It was Vince that started the no color stuff.
Yeah, that's because
Wait, no, they
it was
stopped
when they
black
became
people.
publicly traded.
Yeah.
Oh no, Vince did have issues with that too. So, there was the one he fired, right? Was it Atlas? Tony? Who was the one he fired for like touching Stephanie McMahon
I
and he was a
stopped
black
watching.
guy? It's like, you don't touch my daughter.
Only Test and Triple H do.
Eric says that Raw is the one going to Netflix. Okay, that's gonna be weird since Raw has been on USA. What
All
since
of our
the very
lives?
beginning? Yeah.
Well, no, there was a time it was on Spike, wasn't it?
Raw? I don't
No.
think so.
No, Spike
That was
had
the other one.
Spike
had Thunder, didn't it?
Did they have
No, Thunder was on TNT.
Wasn't TNA the one that was on Spike?
It was.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Total nonstop action, Russ.
Yeah.
That was the
Yeah.
one that
Jeff Jarrett's.
who's
stupid.
the one? Was TNA the one that Smashing Pumpkins guy owned?
No, it's NWA. He was doing some work with him. He tried buying TNA.
Billy Callahan? No, that's not it.
Billy
Billy
Corgan.
Corgan.
He owns one of them right now.
Yeah, NWA.
It's not Ring of Honor. Is it NWA?
Yeah.
Raw
that
was
goes-
on TNA. No, Raw. Do you mean TN?
Raw was on TNT. Or no,
TN
Raw was
TNA.
on USA the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nitro was on TNT
Yeah.
Yes. And Thunder was on TBS.
Okay.
Yeah. because they were both the Turner Broadcasting.
The Turner channels.
And let's see.
There was
what would-
SmackDown on UPN.
SmackDown, yeah.
Yeah,
That
just
SmackDown may have gone
Corgan's-
to Spike at some point.
Billy Corgan's sad face at Disney is a classic internet picture. It's right up there with Sad Affleck. I'm a big fan. All right, we've put it off long enough. Slender.
Rain is the Mad King. See you guys later when you're done talking about Lord of Rings.
Oh my god. Okay, so we're not gonna bury the lead. All right. It's worse than season 1. Now, I have some theories as to what's going on with it, and we'll get into those first. I honestly think that the writers involved in this project are in fact so arrogant that they are basically, they've shuffled around some things and they're telling a lot of the same story that was going through season 1 with different beats. And what they're hoping is that everybody likes it this time around. And so then they can say, yeah, well, you see, you had to like season 1 too, because season 1 set all this up. It's all part of our genius.
It's the same picture.
Yeah. And so, like, for example, remember how we were all ripping on the first one? Because at the end of season 1, everybody survives a pyroclastic flow that should have killed them.
Yes.
Well, at the beginning of season 2, all the orcs survive a cryoclastic flow that should have killed them. Because somehow they stab Sauron to death. And then while they're poking the body with a stick to try and figure out if it's dead, it explodes with light that freezes everything for miles, but doesn't kill any of them.
Even the orc families and children?
Yeah, even the orc. Oh my god, the orc families and children. Like, oh, oh boy. And you know what else? Sauron's not evil. He just wants to bring socialism to Middle Earth. I'm not even.
Wait, no, hold on. I thought you said he wasn't evil.
Yeah. He
But-
spends in the very first scene, they do like this weird flashback where he's trying to get the orcs to follow him, and this apparently happens before the events of season 1 because we needed to know, right? But he's trying to get them to follow him, and they turn on him and they all stab him to death. But what he kept telling them was like, well, nobody likes you. There's no place for you among the humans. The elves despise you and see you as only fit to be hunted and killed. You have no other choice. But if you follow me, yes, many of you will die, but you will be revered throughout history as the peoples who united all peoples. And
So
I'm
he
like,
was
oh my
Lord
God.
Farquaad from Shrek. Yes,
More
most
or
of
less.
you will die, but I
Yep.
will.
Yep, and they did what Lord Farquaad's people should have done, and we're like, well, we don't want to die. So they all jumped him and stabbed him to death, which shouldn't be possible because he's Sauron. But they did it.
Correct me in the lore. Sauron is supposed to be one of like basically the angelic eternal beings, right? Like
Yeah,
he's-
they're basically lesser gods. Like by D&D rules, they're not even avatars. They're lesser gods.
I mean, the only reason eventually Sauron dies is because he poured all of his power into the One Ring, which was destroyed by Frodo, and that's what killed him. Like when they killed his body, but when Isildur killed, like, cut off the ring and his
Isildur.
bond, Isildur, he wasn't dead. He
Nope.
didn't die till the ring got destroyed. Oh,
Well, and
Jesus.
here's the other thing, and this is another one of those things that just pissed me off. So we're just gonna jump right into it. You remember how they made the 3 elven rings at the end of season 1, right? All 3 of those rings are behaving like the One Ring,
Where they're trying to turn him evil already.
where they're trying to turn them evil. They're bouncing in very conspicuous ways to certain people. Things are happening. They're tempting people who just lay eyes on them. Like, they're doing things that only the One Ring was supposed to do.
I thought until
But
the
aren't
one,
they all rings
the,
of power?
yeah, but
They're
the
all
one,
rings of power.
So the One Ring hasn't been forged yet,
Correct.
right? And until the One Ring is forged, those rings are just neutral power rings.
Right.
That can be
and
used
those
by the
rings
wielder.
Don't behave like the One Ring. The One Ring has a will of its own because Sauron's will was poured into it. The other rings are just powerful artifacts.
Right, but people would still be
No,
envious of them.
No, watch the if
I don't
if you
want to
need
watch it.
Yeah, watch like an episode, and these rings bounce in conspicuous ways. At one point, just because Elrond's the only one who's got even half a fucking brain cell, like he's like, we need to destroy these. Like we know that guy was Sauron now. Why are we even considering using these? Like, this may be part of his design. Let's just destroy these rings. And so he gets a guy to help him destroy the rings, and the guy like goes out. This is where they, stupid writers thinking they're being clever. He takes a little sailboat out to the Middle Earth equivalent of the Marianas Trench, and he's like, if we drop the rings down there, no one will ever be able to get to them, and they'll be destroyed. And I'm like, oh, water, fire, okay, cute. But as he's going to drop the rings into the water, like, something splashes and rocks the boat. And somehow, even though he was holding his hand over the water, he lets go of the bag and the bag lands in the boat. And then he's like, well, let's just take a peek at the rings. And then he decides to wear one of the rings. And I'm like, that's not how the other rings are supposed to behave. Why? These rings tried to resist being destroyed like they had a will. Yeah,
it doesn't fit.
Nope, it's not. They're not supposed to behave that way, and they do, and it's really, really bad, and this is all in the first episode, the first freaking episode.
I put a video in the private chat for what Slender's description of Sauron made me think of.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, let's.
I'll let you grab that one. I've got too much stuff up because I've got my visual aids all ready to go.
This one. I do. This movie's super underrated.
You know, here's the
it's
thing,
way
right?
underrated.
You take that cameraman out,
Yeah.
and this looks kind of like the area where all the elves hang out around the big gold tree.
Turn on the closed captioning just in case people haven't heard this song or seen it.
Not available. Dang it.
Ah.
Slams the door, he stomps his feet, sends me to bed with zilch to eat. But my stepdad's not mean, he's just adjusting.
Sauron's not bad, he's just adjusting.
They're definitely like, there is a hard push to make the orcs relatable, to make Sauron just misunderstood. Like, I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it.
It's a lot like a new puppy. They need patience and love while they adjust to their new surroundings. But remember, if he is ever abusive to you or mommy, what are the magic numbers? 911! That's right!
I love that movie.
All right. And so let me give you some of the characters here. I'm gonna share those. How do I share just that?
Present that tab.
Present
or that
the
screen.
tab. See, Eric,
Here
it's
we go.
depressing for the fans that Lord of the Rings fans are arguably even deeper into lore than EU Star Wars fans, and the showrunners don't care. Yes.
So do you recognize that guy?
What is that thing?
I
That's
have no idea what it is.
That
that's
looks like
Don
an
Levenmoss.
it looks like an amorphous blob on the screen.
Yeah. Then he goes behind the cart and he comes out looking like that. And then he does this. Then he does this because apparently he needed to spin 4,000 times. That guy on the ground on the left there, he was standing. He didn't get shot. He didn't get touched. Now he's on the ground. I don't know why.
It looked like you just screenshotted a whole bunch of shots of his ass.
It basically was because that's all that you ever saw with him while he was spinning
Well,
through the air.
I know
for
that we've
4,000
got
that's-
Dom.
And that's
Dom-
what you were like, I need screenshots of this. We've got to see this ass over and over and over.
It just weirded me out how blurry it is compared. Like they just intentionally blurred it all too.
I guess we are going to get Dom
that.
Lemon's attention.
Like, why is he so blurry there? I couldn't figure. And look at his foot there, and this one where it kind of peels to
Because
the
they're
like.
not doing practical effects. They're
Yes.
CGIing a body flying through the air. Because
I guess that's
the
it.
blurry leg looks a lot like the blurry arm in Star Wars Outlaws that was,
You're
coming
right,
apart
actually,
and
it
coming
does.
back together.
Yeah. But I don't know. Like that character is pointless as ever. This woman is pointless as ever.
That's the Shire's ass.
Yeah. Like the dwarves are apparently having this problem where the mountain is now like turning against them, and she can sense that the mountain no longer listens to them.
I said,
'Cause-
brace yourselves while you give me the meat and give it to me raw.
Yeah.
I feel. Wait, when we're talking about the mountain, are we talking about her or an actual mountain?
The actual mountain.
Okay,
Um,
just wanted to make sure because
this-
I feel like
This was once again to demonstrate that no male character will ever occupy a position of authority, and even if they do, they will never say or do anything of consequence. All things of consequence belong to women. And it is still true in this one. Like that dwarf dude, him and his dad are fighting. She's the one who keeps telling them to stop fighting. She's the one who finds out that the mountain's turning against them and knows that an earthquake is about to happen because she heard the mountain getting ready to earthquake, I guess. And so she told everybody that an earthquake was about to happen. Like,
There's jokes I could make, but I would get in trouble.
well, I mean, she did fall down to the ground, so this is Elrond jumping off a cliff into a waterfall and surviving somehow. This is the waterfall in question, right? There he is falling down the waterfall in question. And then I noticed something about that. Look at the size of him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now look at that tree in the bottom right-hand corner.
Mm-hmm.
Him, tree. Him, he's bigger than the fucking trees.
But it is on the side of a waterfall, so it could be a bonsai, just like in Karate Kid.
that was Karate Kid Part 3.
I know.
We
but
discussed that earlier.
I was here.
So, I
Well,
know.
not
But so
here
then-
on, but here in chat.
I know, but I want to make sure
Because Matt doesn't remember 3.
Yeah, earlier we were mixing up 1, 2, and 3 with different parts, so I'm
2
making
Japan,
clear.
3 Silver, 1 Johnny.
Look, I
So
know
this
that, and
this
you know
guy's an
that,
elf,
but-
by the way. I don't know if you guys knew this, but elves can apparently look like this now.
I didn't
this
think.
elf-
I thought elves were eternal. Like they hit an age and then they stopped aging.
Yeah, his age
Yeah.
was Willie Nelson.
And I don't think I've seen an elf with facial hair, have we?
He's like
they're
the
not
dude
supposed to grow
abides.
facial hair. Their facial hair is not supposed to be a thing that happens with elves.
Or Sam Elliott from Roadhouse. Roadhouse.
They also
Ooh,
don't have
that's
to,
a good.
They
one.
also never have to shave their junk.
So
because
to give
they
you
just
some
never
more
hit that.
context, though, this is one of the 3.
I don't
ring
even
bearers.
know why Brahma would know that, but I'm sure that it's established lore. Somewhere.
If you can't grow facial hair, then would you be growing any of the other hair that you get at that
I
specific
mean,
time in life?
most women don't grow facial hair.
You
They-
you talk
never
about
mind.
me
Rude.
me taking screenshots of Dark Elf Black Panther's ass. And
Meanwhile,
and
the
you start talking
dwarven
about the
women are
hair.
supposed to have beards, and they don't.
They gave some of them beards this time.
It's an elf on death sticks. There you go.
Yep. But this guy's supposed to be the shipwright. Okay, he's the one who makes the ships to take him off to the Valinor or whatever, right? So, and Elrond goes to him to try and get him to destroy the rings, right?
Okay.
After Elrond jumps off that cliff, the High King Gil-galad and Galadriel, Gil-galad's like, seal up all the gates that lead out of our lands. We can't have him escaping, blah, blah, blah. And Galadriel says this to him. Escape is not his plan. He spoke of destroying the rings. Elrond would seek someone out, someone he can trust, someone older, wiser, whose voice would command respect, even from you. Someone who could turn the tide his way.
So the guy that builds ships for a living?
Yeah, like, I swear to God, the only part of that line that was left out was when she went, huh? Huh? Gil-galad? Huh?
So is he going to talk to Tom Bombadil? What are we talking about? I mean, Elrond
He's going to talk to the shipwright.
He's
the
going
guy
to talk
who
to the
can
guy
turn
who
the
builds
tide
ships.
his way. And apparently everybody knows who this guy is.
And he was Sauron, right?
Yep.
This doesn't make any sense.
I'm lost.
But yeah, and by the way, in the first season, which I didn't watch and didn't care, Sauron was the one as a shipbuilder who apparently told Celebrimbor how to make rings of power, and people weren't suspicious of the fact, like, hey,
well,
dude who builds some boats knows how to make magic rings.
Basically, how to make an alloy. You know, somebody who's a master
Something elves
blacksmith doesn't
never
know what an
figured out.
alloy is.
But yeah, so this guy.
Why don't you combine the types of metal?
But this is the guy who supposedly took the rings out and was going to dump them into the Marianas Trench or whatever the hell it was called. And then instead decided, oh, I'll just wear one and then I'll bring them back. And then Gil-galad and Galadriel are wearing the other two. And then Galadriel immediately has this vision where she sees, Celebrimbor, the guy who made the rings, getting wrapped up in all these thorns and talking about making more rings for the dwarves and more rings for the humans, and then being impaled on thorns and dying stuck up against a tree. She still thinks the rings are a good idea, and we probably should keep using them.
Well, if you don't let him make them for the dwarves and the humans, then yeah, the elves reign supreme.
Yep.
Who was Galadriel supposed to be married to at this point? She's supposed to be married, right? Her husband was one
married.
of the. Her husband was one of the kings of the elves, right?
I don't remember if he was one of the kings, but she is married, and I have nobody has any idea where he is right now. Nobody.
She's busy being a general.
But she's also super thirsty for Sauron, right?
Night
Yes,
Mad.
she was super thirsty for Sauron.
Oh,
Oh,
did
is
he
Mad
ever-
jumping?
He disappeared. I don't know if he did it on purpose or by accident.
Fell asleep. Then you have Charlie Manson, who's apparently
Hi, man.
he is the wizard leader of the real Slim Shady and those
Oh,
girls.
Speaking of Rome, that's Kieran Hans. He was the one who played Caesar in Rome.
All right, so
Okay.
this I'm about an hour late because I've been looking for it for this whole time, but I finally found it.
All right, I'll add it real quick to interrupt so Mad pays attention.
He's killed him. That's the call from Undertaker.
Yep.
Mankind Hell in the
I've
Cell.
been looking for that ship for an hour. I need to get better at organizing. Anyway, that was it.
All right. Yeah. Now going back, this guy after
Coming
he
back
starts
from our
wearing the ring-
commercial break.
Yeah. This guy after he starts wearing one of the rings turns into this guy. And apparently shaves with a clamshell. I don't really know what's going
I
on
get
there.
Wait, so who
Oh,
are the
you
three
haven't?
people? Who is this guy? What is it? Which character?
He's the
is this?
shipwright.
This is the shipwright. I don't even know his effing name. I don't know if
Imagine
they even
people
say
come
his
up like,
name.
why does your face smell like a vagina?
Smells like clams.
Oh, this is so bad.
And then because they were so popular, they brought these bitches back. I don't know why.
No, I don't. It is definitely not the same
a
actor,
brouhaha?
but he looks like him. It is the discount version of Malfoy's dad from Harry Potter.
It's like a fucking,
Yeah,
fucking brouhaha.
It's the real Slim Shady
when he was
back
going
again.
through his goth phase.
I mean, it's 2024. Maybe they're like, how do we get Eminem, but make it look like they're transitioning? Like, here we go. This is the look we want.
And then the Harfoots are still a thing. And they're talking to not Gandalf, and they're trying to come up with a name for him, right? And he's not liking any of the names they're coming up with, and they're like, "Well, we have to." They're like, "Well, we have to give you a name." And this may be me tilting at windmills, but it sounds a lot like trans messaging to me. But they're like, not Gandalf goes, "No one can give you a name. It is yours already. It is who you are. You know it when you hear it."
The fuck does that mean?
Okay, Gandalf.
I was like, no, Gandalf. I don't know if you fucking know this, but that's
They're not
exactly
allowed to
what
say it.
happens. Your parents give you a name. That's like
What about Randolph?
everyone who has ever been born is given
if
a
it's
name at some point.
If it's an Everclear song, their dad gives them a name and then walks away.
And then he walks
But
away.
he'll buy you a garden.
Shiny, happy.
By the way, I just wanted to be like, okay, what about Randolph? No? Okay. Randolph? No, we're getting close though.
And when Gil-galad is trying to figure out what they're going to do about all the orcs that are starting to encroach, like all of his generals are women, right?
No,
all
this
of his
is
generals are
perfect.
women.
That sounds like a line Kamala wrote.
Oh yeah. But one of his women general, who is not Galadriel, is talking about their plans, and she's like, "If we moved swiftly, we may be able to crush 2 spiders under 1 boot." And I'm like, "Oh wow,
Why couldn't you normally?
Could just go with 2 birds with 1 stone, huh?
Yeah, so
that makes sense,
oh
but
my
2
God,
spiders,
so
1
brilliant.
boot. There's plenty of room underneath your boot for 2 spiders.
Or 6 or 7.
Yeah. Oh, and they brought Shelob into this for no apparent reason. Remember how Isildur, like they baited him dying when the building collapsed on him at the end of the first season?
Of course.
Somehow he ended up in Shelob's lair with a bunch of giant spiders trying to eat him for no apparent fucking reason.
I thought it was Shelob.
I thought it was Shelob.
Yeah,
I could
Slope
be
sounds
wrong.
very Jewish.
Shalob sounds like something you say in celebration.
Shalom.
L'chaim, Shalob.
It sounds like it sounds like a Mel Brooks joke. If
I
Mel
read
Brooks
the
ever
books
did
to a
this,
lot of those. I don't know how they're actually pronounced, but that's how I pronounced them.
I'm not gonna lie and say that I didn't call him was it Smog the entire time I had read that book before the Hobbit movie came out, and they're like, it's Smaug, and I'm like, oh,
Smaug.
are you sure it's not Smog? Every time I've always heard it in my head as Smog, but okay.
Didn't the cartoon even have it as Smog?
I thought so.
I believe it did. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
And then there you go, like Smaug alert.
well, now we pronounce Shelob both ways, so people will know who we're talking about if they
Yep.
Didn't.
Yep. Shelob, Shelob, Shalom, whatever.
Big ass-
Hassenpfeffer Incorporated.
big ass mother of spiders.
Yep.
The one that Samwise stood off with the little
Sting.
vial of light until he turned into a gay shell of a man.
Well, and that was one of the things I did want to discuss too. So let me pull this up now. This article that I shared with you earlier about like, because maybe this is just me, but it seems unusual just the way that they talk about this stuff. Like they say stupid things that don't make a lot of sense. Rings of Power, yeah, right here. So the Rings of Power introduced a huge Lord of the Rings villain, and you probably didn't notice. I don't know how nobody noticed. Like the giant spiders. We all know the giant spiders. Like everybody has always known the giant spiders. I don't know why, but this is the part that got me. I remember reading Isildur awakes in the spider cave, Maxim Baldry tells Empire. Then it said, and it's ... Shelob.
That's better.
I thought, no way. That's so cool. Shelob is someone that I grew up adoring from the books.
He's so easily swayed.
Why? Like, why did you grow up adoring that creature? Like, I adored the terrifying, horrible monster that tried to kill the protagonists.
Well, what you don't know is their mom was killed by a Dalmatian. So they could relate.
It's just like, this is so fake. It's so fucking fake. Someone I grew up adoring from the books. No, you fucking didn't. Like, it would have made more sense if you were like, yeah, I remember reading about that thing in the books and it was terrifying. But
Or I thought a gigantic spider was awesome.
yeah,
But it's also calling a giant spider someone that I grew up instead of
they've
you
never
know, is a
personified
character that I grew up.
until Shadow of Mordor. That character has never had a human form.
Right. It's just weird about a creature to call it someone.
Yeah,
It's the furries, I tell you.
something. But yeah, it's I don't know.
What is the
Everything about
furry
it-
version that wants to hump a spider, whatever that is?
Well, they're hoping it's a tarantula so that it does have fur.
And then there's like a part where not Gandalf collapses because they've been wandering in the desert for so long, and he just happens to collapse like 15 feet away from a well. So they run up, and the girl starts raising the bucket, right, to get the water from the well because they think he needs water that bad. And they get the bucket, and she pulls the bucket away, and they start, giving him water. But then, like, the rope that they disconnected from the bucket starts going back down, and it spins around and keeps hitting a giant bell. Like, I don't understand who made this and why. Like, every time you lower the rope, it's the little thing spins so fast and it goes ding, 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 like an alarm. And that's how the weird skull face people find them.
But it's out in the middle of nowhere?
Yeah. Yeah.
So somebody built a well with a bell specifically.
It's next to like a little shed, I guess. I don't know. It makes no freaking sense. None of it makes any sense. It's like the whole thing is a shoehorn. Like the entire show, the entire concept is we have created a show that we will use as a shoehorn to get one set piece with some lines that we came up with that we think are really cool. And then we'll do some show so that we can wedge it up against another set piece with some lines that we think are pretty cool.
But it's
like,
a magical, mystical land, so it doesn't have to make sense. It
Yeah,
just
it doesn't
has
have
to be
to make
magical and
sense.
mystical.
Yeah. We don't have to follow any rules or anything. It's a fucking mess. It's so bad. And like to give you some idea of how bad, I thought I could just power through it all last night. And I got 10 minutes into the second episode and decided to go to bed at like 9:30.
Gotta work in an America song here. I've been through the desert with a wizard with no name. It felt good to get out. In the desert, you can't remember your name.
The furry comment reminded me of a suggestion for what the flick Charlie Sheen voiced as Sam and Max type dog detective for a movie called Food Fight. It's a PS2 era animated but better than Outlaws. Oh, well, there you go.
Why would a guy with tiger blood be in a movie about dogs?
And this one pissed me off too.
When Shadows of Mordor is more lore accurate than $1 billion show.
Out of the frying pan into the fire, as Tolkien himself would say. Don't you ever fucking talk about what Tolkien would say.
Slender's about to be Will Smith and go smack him and be like, I don't get Tolkien's name out your
author's name out your fucking mouth.
Oh.
Like, they were so proud of this shit that I don't know, like, After the burning building memorably fell on him, it turns out he was snatched by some spiderlings who took this nice piece of Numenorian meat to their lair in the dark forest to be served up to a noticeably younger and smaller but still very much giant Shelob.
So the spiderlings were bigger than Shelob, who was younger and smaller?
The spiderlings were like face hugger size, basically. They were about the size of a face hugger.
Right. So how big was Shelob? Because it's saying they were he was to be
She was
served up to a
smaller.
noticeably younger and smaller, or
She's
noticeably
different.
younger and smaller than when we saw her last. Is that what they
Yeah.
mean?
And I said, but still very much giant.
Okay. Well, it's
Yeah.
making it sound like she's smaller than the spiderlings in my mind. The way that sentence
Yeah, Soul
is
Assassin.
constructed.
Slender already brought up screenshots of Grim Shady and the Nazgul.
Oh yeah, Grim Shady was definitely in it, and apparently Grim Shady and all the other, witch ladies, they all serve Charles Manson.
Shelob is my
Before he
favorite
carved
Cyndi
the
Lauper song.
swastika in his forehead.
I'd give you credit for that one, Shifty, but Davina made the joke 7 minutes ago.
Ooh. Spiderling does whatever spider can. Gee, you can tell which places still have money, and Amazon, I guess, still has enough money to buy the free press.
Dude, then at the end of the third episode, they brought one of the giant eagles in again. Oh, it pissed me off. It just pisses me off. It pisses me off so much.
I'm just screwing with you, Shifty.
Well, this is gonna bring it it's like they watched how it should have ended, and they're like, we're gonna do it, right? It's like we're just gonna have the eagles in all the time.
Yeah, I don't know. Just the way people interact isn't human. Like they don't understand how people talk or interact with one another or think or behave. There are so many times when it's like, this character is being stupid because we need this character to make the bad decision to move the plot along. If they make the good decision, the story will end because they will have done something smart and it will have worked.
Well,
So we are going to have them do something really stupid instead.
That's like half of horror movies, though. It's like that. What was the insurance commercial? Why can't we just get into the running car?
Well, and I don't remember if it was a Critical Drinker or one of the others that said this. They might have all said it, but it really does demonstrate that a character can only be as smart as the person writing them, and there are not smart people writing this show. It's just not. And everybody's gay because of course they are. You remember how there's the Harfoot girl, and then there's like her friend who's always getting into the shenanigans with her.
Yep.
Like those two are at some point going to have a lesbian encounter. That much is almost guaranteed at this point. There's this weird thing with Celebrimbor, and he's Sauron, but he's going by Anatar, the Lord of Gifts now. There's this weird thing between those two where they're like almost gay for each other at this point.
Well, he did help him create alloys.
Yeah. He's like, in addition to the rings, there are other tools I know how to make.
I got it. It just wasn't that good.
Oh,
that hurts. Matt didn't laugh either. I'm kind of sad.
Matt's out smoking.
I'd have given him a laugh.
Matt's out
on a
smoking.
smoke break.
I just wanted to hear the silence and let you twist in the wind for a second.
The sound of silence.
But yeah, it's terrible. It's just not a good show, and I hate it. And I'm gonna watch the rest of it because I have to at this point. Like I have to see how bad it gets.
For anybody who wants to know where this is going to go back to our back catalog of podcast episodes and check out the one on Blood Origin. because I feel like this is the kind of ground you're going to be seeing Slender cover.
Hey guys, I got one.
It's
What's
getting
that?
there real fast.
I got a fly. And it's smoking now.
Oh,
Oh yeah, I've got it in the racket, and it's
Hey, Slender, I think we're in
down
trouble.
here, and it's
Channeling
just
his Elden
smoking
Ring
right now.
psychopath in real life.
I don't know if Matt is still here, but I feel like his home defense system against flies is more fun.
I don't know. Listening to the electric pop as it hits it, I love it. And then if you can get them caught in the things and just keep holding the button so they start sizzling and then smoking, occasionally setting themselves on fire.
Just have the indoor version of the light, and at night you'll just occasionally hear pop. And
The bug zapper light.
Got it.
I
have one.
I wish I could find one of the old ones, because the newer ones that they make are just no fun. It's like, no, we just lure the bugs in with the light. It doesn't actually zap. I want one of the 1980s, 1990s.
I don't know what you're
zapper.
talking about. Mine has like ringed around the light are metal prods, and when they make contact, it
zaps.
It's basically like that movie Shocker from the 1990s.
They're hard to find.
If they hit it at the right angle, they just keep on buzzing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if they go at the right angle, it's fucking Green Mile.
You get like a
here.
dragonfly, and it's making contact in like 7 different places, and it's just pop, 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 until it catches on fire. It's great.
Do you remember? I mean, God, that was disturbing in Green Mile when they were doing
with no sponge.
With the no sponge. Oof,
I didn't know the sponge was supposed to be wet.
Sure you didn't. You also didn't know you weren't supposed to marry that 16-year-old girl in real life.
Oh,
or was she 17?
Was that guy?
Yeah.
So he was a piece of shit in real life too?
Yeah.
Wow.
He groomed some chick and got the parents' permission to marry her at like 16 or 17.
So he pulled an Elvis, because Elvis also did that. How old was Priscilla? Like 15?
Priscilla was young, 14 or 15. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think.
Because Priscilla lived with him for like a year before they got married, I think.
Yeah, what was the guy's name who played Percy? Because, there's a whole story there.
No, I don't know. All right, so I didn't do a full Jeopardy or song quiz or trivia, but I've got one from Mad Mardigan's Trivia, which I thought would be... I know Mad really loves that this guy has a channel with that
I hate
name.
this guy, too.
It has hundreds of thousands of views, so hopefully it'll be a good one.
Eric Myers says, I don't understand the salt gun bug zapper. It's not a bug zapper. It's literally a salt gun, CO2 powered, that Mad has, that shoots salt so hard that it kills them.
Matt, are you back? Can you talk about your experience defending your homestead?
He hasn't unmuted, so I don't think he's back.
Yeah. All right.
Does the salt gun come with like risers so you can put like a red dot on it, or?
I think you can customize it any way you want, and it's
got an ACOG on that shit.
It's like I think right now he has the Red Dead style one, but if you really go crazy, you could get the AR style one.
Underneath the barrel, it's also got the flamethrower where you can just.
You can get the full semi-automatic.
Take out the eggs in the queen's room.
I'm not gonna lie, I did go back and watch Aliens this, after
I was gonna tell you guys, so after the whole WASP experience down in Texas. So my parents have a car, they're visiting this week to meet the new baby or grandbaby. And they have a car that they leave at our house for when they are here. So it hasn't been driven in like 2 months. So my dad gets in it, and I'm going to get in the passenger side. I open the door, and like 30 wasps shoot out of the door straight at me. And I'm like, oh shit, and completely dodge them. They have built a full nest network inside of the hinge, like the groove where the door, closes. There's just wasps
like what happened
everywhere.
in my basement.
It was
You're gonna have to get
After
that,
the earlier wasp experience this year, it was not that fun or exciting.
I'm gonna back up Matt on this one. Who the f has a vacation car?
Yeah, no shit, right?
Well, they used to live here. They left a car here because it's like a 1998 expedition that doesn't do crap.
Dude, Brahma, how old is the money you guys are from?
Like 30 years.
Not at all old.
I think Eric has the right concept here. Nope, that car gets burned now.
No, I went and got the wasp spray, sprayed it down. I pushed the wasp nest off of it with a dowel, so it's on the ground. I step on it, and the amount of goo and eggs and stuff that came out of that nest. This was the largest wasp nest I have ever. I hate that word. Nest I have ever seen.
Okay,
I mean,
Ripley.
It was everywhere. Like there was red goo, yellow goo, white goo. I stepped on it and was not expecting it to be that wet.
I don't know why you'd step on it.
Just don't let them near Newt, and we'll be okay.
So, but we leave, come back. I'm getting out of the car, and there's like 10 more wasps right there. Like, hey, where did our house go? We're still flying right around here where the car is parked. So yeah, they just keep going back to the same spot.
You guys
don't know how to
spraying
get rid
it
of
down
them
for the next every day for the next week.
Yeah.
We had a similar issue where I don't know why the people who lived here before me did half the things they did, but they put floodlights in, and the junction box that they ran all the wires through, they didn't put it on risers. They just drilled it directly to the wall, exterior wall. So water gets behind there and rotted it out.
Right.
And so there was
you've got a hollow.
Yeah. And the wasps got in there. And here's the thing. They built a nest in our wall, but they were also able to get inside my basement through our circuit breaker box.
Well, yeah.
Because that's the wall.
If they're inside the wall, they're just traveling between the studs and stuff.
So basically we had to fight a battle with that. I had to, get the outside caulking and actually caulk around the box so that water would stop getting behind it, rotting out the wall. Filled the box with the expanding styrofoam, went down to inside the circuit breaker box and was spraying just bottle after bottle of Raid up into the area between the wall.
Yeah.
And every day, 100 dead wasps would fall out of the box.
Yeah. Luckily, these were just
next
regular
day, same
ones,
thing.
not those Texas red, evil, angry wasps.
You know what
these
you
were
should
just
get,
your
Slender, next
standard
time
yellow
is get one of those when you're after you've done your initial killing, is get 3 of the wasp glue traps that you can hang right around it, whereas they're buzzing around, they just get stuck.
And then get the gun and then start shooting them with salt while they're stuck in place.
Then
Hey,
it's
we got Mad back. Now we can do trivia.
Mad, we needed you to talk about your defending your homestead. But
man, I wish our car was taken over by.
You're gonna next time send a text message.
Nope, house gets burned now. Sorry.
Next time, Brahma.
Next time it happens, I'll send a text to Matt,
text
and he'll be
message to
like,
Matt.
"I'm on the next plane. I'm on the next plane. Don't
Matt
do
is
anything."
I am going there. He's gonna friggin' parachute
or
in.
you could just send me your private jet.
You can send your vacation jet.
I'll have the
together.
helo pick you up in 5.
I'm gonna call my buddy Mr. Sheridan, and he'll send his chopper over to get you. All right.
He's got bigger guns than just the bug salt gun.
All right. So I didn't make this one, so I can play with.
This is your favorite channel, Mad.
Mad Mardigan's Trivia.
Fucking. Go ahead.
You're giving him a view.
Yeah, I mean it is what it did he create his name after yours?
I have no idea.
I don't know, but after I met Mad, he started popping up all over in my feed until I just was like, nope, don't show me this.
The NSA algorithm tracker decided that
exactly
you needed to see it.
I was like, Mad, did you know about this channel? He's like, yes.
I guess this one is done Jeopardy style.
This motherfucker makes you get a pencil and paper.
Jeopardy
No.
style, in that it just goes
Has-
down to
yeah,
different points
whatever.
values.
I mean, we're not gonna probably.
I'm not
keep that
answering
kind of
in the
track.
form of a question.
No.
Do we get to pick?
No, it's a.
No,
I
it
don't
does
think-
it on its own.
clicking on it.
It's not interactive.
No, it is not interactive.
Roku has a good quiz now. I always play.
Shifty says, I used to watch this channel all the time. I wondered if it was Our Mad because we used to play Name That Tune with Our Mad on Handstars
No.
channel?
Honstar.
Handstars channel.
Unfortunately, it's the far superior Mad that did this channel.
At least in
Tommy should be
terms
on there
of
all the time too.
on this channel? Or
No,
on Handstar?
on
Honstar.
channel.
All right. Movie titles.
Okay.
Footloose.
Yeah.
By Kenny Loggins.
What
Yeah, but-
is Footloose?
All right, are we actually getting out pen and
Max,
paper and
possibly
keeping-
No,
Ortho?
no, this is just goof off for fun. We're not.
Man, he thinks
Stop
his
trying to
fucking
make it
audience is
competitive.
idiot.
Stop trying to like make it
I never make anything competitive.
bullshit.
I always win. I always.
You fucking called in from a bathroom and like this guy was on vacation with his wife in Las Vegas, supposedly having a nice time, and he's calling in like, "We're gonna go see Alien Ant Farm later. I'm playing trivia."
It was a meetup. That's not a vacation.
Oh, babe, my stomach. Oh man. Oh, it's gonna be a minute. Go on
I
without
was
me.
told there'd be no math.
The funny thing is, while I was going into the bathroom to call in and do the questions or do the answers for the trivia, I left the show on the big screen in the living room where she was sitting, so she knew that suddenly I just appear on the screen from the other room.
you know, this is how we know Brahma's not quite a pro, because if you're really a pro as a husband, you know to make sure that browser is clear and nothing's there.
No, I was literally like, I'm
off
just
your
gonna
Bluetooth.
sneak over into the other room, and then when I appear on there, I'm sure I will hear her furious voice in the background because she sees me pop up on screen.
See,
But
you need to do.
I'm
have
doing it anyway.
You need to have it like Slender, where instead all you'll hear is the furious, angry yelling of your wife trying to answer the questions
Right.
on the delay.
Yep. All right, we got a whole Jeopardy board to go through.
I hit play.
I'll take
Don't-
Timely
can't go
Tunes
through
for
Double
600.
Jeopardy too. Oh well, we're already at 1,000. Never mind.
That's not what I picked.
Right side.
I'm too
Fred.
sexy.
See, I don't
And,
really.
and who wrote the song?
Right said Fred.
Right, said Fred.
Who is
Okay.
right side Fred?
Right said Fred.
What is I'm too sexy?
Yep. You know, that was one of those things where it was like, how did it reminded me of the Austin Powers? Like, women loved him, man. I didn't realize he was gay. It's like, how did?
Well, but that's the
people
thing.
thought it was-
Every guy knew he was gay, and it's like,
Who?
yeah, and we still
right said
in
Fred.
the 90s we still really didn't have that big of a problem with it, and yet you know everybody's
In
like,
the video, it was
no,
dancing around.
nobody could even come out of the closet back in the 90s. Whatever.
It reminded me, like in Full House, when Candace Cameron Bure's character had the George Michael poster up there, and I was like, dude, every dude knew.
If
he
you
was,
only
like,
knew.
super gay. Like, yeah, like Ricky Martin. Like,
Wait,
Yeah.
Ricky?
Every girl in my high school was like, Ricky's so hot, and we were all like, he's gay.
What?
because they loved him from General Hospital. All right, Timely Tunes.
What does that even mean?
Old time rock and roll. Bob Seger.
Yeah.
It must mean things that have time in them.
Things that
Somehow.
have, yeah, like this one is
Like a
old.
time.
Oh, like
old
that song
time.
from
Time.
Like
Fallen.
Time After Time. Yeah.
Rolling
Old
Stones.
Time is going to be in the title. Yeah. We should get if we had the clips of the Will Ferrell, like Alex Trebek
Damn you and your daily doubles.
Timely tunes. These are
Keep
answers that will have time in the title.
Keep it playing until they get to the next one. Then you can pause it because now we have to wait for it to get to the next one.
Ding. Song intros for 800.
I mean, you guys have to. I have to keep
Dang
playing
it.
Elden Ring.
Keep calling you on the telephone, baby.
Keep your
after
hands to
giving you-
yourself.
Yeah.
Shifty says anal bum cover for.
Don't tell me no lies and keep
Yeah,
your
keep
hands,
your
to,
hands to
yourself,
yourself.
Something like
Yep.
that.
Is that the name of the song?
It's a
I
country
think so.
one-hit
Let's
wonder.
I remember it.
Keep your hands. Yeah. Georgia satellites. I don't. Yeah, that
All right.
must have been there.
Slender
Never
got
heard of the
that one.
Georgia Satellites.
Slender got that one before me.
Song intros.
Bad to the
Bad to
bone.
the bone.
Well, I don't remember the name of the artist.
Problem
so.
Child.
George.
Problem Child was the movie.
Yeah.
George
Thorogood.
and the, there you go.
I was getting there, but you
Also,
let it go.
Major Pain.
I think that was a four-way tie because I don't
No,
think you
I was.
played.
Mad said it first.
No, he didn't.
Yes, I did. Go back and
In
listen to the
what
replay,
world?
motherfuckers.
I heard him say it first. Maybe I don't know. That's what I heard.
That's what everybody heard. The Wanderers. What the fuck is this?
Psycho Ranger.
The Lone Ranger?
Turning Japanese. Is that the?
No.
It
Is
was Turning
Wow.
Japanese by
No
the
one has
Vapors.
ever heard that part of the song before.
That
Nope.
did not sound like that song at all.
So
Yeah, I
got-
remember it from the Biodome soundtrack. I don't remember
I
that.
think I'm turning Japanese. I think I'm turning
Wait, was it in the
Japanese. I
Biodome?
really think so. Do you know what that song's about?
Turning Japanese.
Shifty. You've never heard. It's about
About being adopted
satisfying
by a Japanese
yourself.
family.
It's about the O face.
yeah.
Oh. So not of an adoption story. My parents lied to me.
Gonna show you my O face. Oh.
It's my jump to conclusion pad. Hey, I got one, so that's good. Oh, we'll jump into the $1,000 question.
It's a daily double. Space Hog in the meantime.
Yeah. I would. Yeah, I mean,
I believe
after
it's What
Guardians,
Is In the Meantime by Space Hog.
I saw them open for Aerosmith. That was a weird show.
Did they just play this one song? It was like, okay, we're done. Here's Aerosmith.
Yeah,
gonna
that's
play it
essentially
4
what it came
times.
down to, yeah.
we'll do it 4 different ways. Timely tunes again. Okay.
Did you turn it up? 'Cause I heard-
Time after time. Cindy
By Cindy
Lauper.
Lauper.
Ugh, no women.
You say go slow. I fall behind.
I turned it up for you, chat, so that you should be able to hear it. But
Starts with S. She drives me sexy.
crazy. She drives me
Drives me
crazy.
crazy.
Fine young cannibals.
Yep.
So, bam, got that one. Wasn't that was in the movie with was it what's the one with
Oppenheimer? I don't
no,
think it was
Frank
in that
Wa-
one.
No, Frank Wally where she was in the Target and it's the what
Jennifer
is her name?
Connelly,
Jennifer Connelly, where she rides the
where she's riding the 20
little-
or the 5-cent pony.
like the 5-cent pony, and she's
Career
yeah,
opportunities.
Career opportunities. That's right. Yep. Although the movie she did with Don Johnson had a much better scene for her, so good for her.
She was hot in the Rocketeer.
She was. That movie is great.
Okay.
Wait, hold on.
Don't get me wrong. I really enjoy The Rocketeer, but calling it great seems
What is
A
not
little-
great about it? What's not
little
great
much.
about it?
It's
Oh.
not a great movie.
It is a great
it's
movie.
a fun movie.
It was
It's-
great
it
for
is.
its time.
It's perfectly well paced. It's got good acting,
Hot
good
chick.
action. It's got great lines that are quotable.
I
They
mean,
are
all
looking
that could
for
be said
different
for
things out of their
It's
movies.
got a
It's actually
giant
a
guy
no-brain
that's
movie.
stuck to the top of a blimp that explodes,
It tells you that actors are all secret Nazis that are trying to overthrow the government, which
which
is
was true.
which is
Not
It
much
shows
has
you-
changed.
It shows you that Italian gangsters, even though they break the law and don't make an honest buck, are 100% American, and they're not going to take your Nazi side. It's awesome.
The only thing that wasn't true was it was communist then, and it's
I mean,
Nazis
well, they
now.
were they were
Dude, that
socialists.
SNES video game was one of the worst.
yeah.
you know what I remember playing on the NES is the Robin Hood Prince of Thieves. A lot of Prince of Thieves themed things.
Yeah,
Trading
along with
cards,
your
video
trading
games.
cards. I was going to bring it. Matt's like, I still have my Robin Hood Prince of Thieves trading cards.
But I am no nerd.
Yeah,
I'm
and
not
my
a
Secret of
nerd.
Ooze cards.
Sabotage.
Sabotage,
Beastie
Beastie Boys.
Boys. Yeah.
Works with every movie ever.
As a horrible, horrible trailer song.
Awesome trailer song. Did you see The Passions of the Christ?
Did you
boy.
just say that you used it for the Passion of the Christ?
That's
Yeah.
what he said.
Yeah. And Lincoln.
All right. If you think it can work for everything, I want you to cut that with Gandhi.
The Keanu Reeves? Oh wait,
No.
no, he didn't play Gandhi.
He played Buddha.
Yeah.
I'm talking to like the Ben Kingsley movie he won an Oscar for from like 1980, whatever.
All right, challenge accepted.
That's right. Passion 2 Resurrection Boogaloo. Taylor Swift, Shake It Off.
I wouldn't want to claim to know it.
Oh, bullshit. Everybody, like, her songs are ubiquitous.
Hell, they are.
The 1982 one? The 1982 Gandhi?
Yeah, that one.
So not Gandhi 2 or Gandhi 3. The
I
sequels.
I wasn't aware they could make
Not making that
sequels.
up.
The Rock's version of this is better. Yeah, no, but Taylor Swift, whatever, her, I mean, I don't...
Take off $600 if you actually knew that.
I knew it and I get credit for it, so that's how it works.
I mean, if you want to take credit for it, you go right ahead.
Look, I don't like Taylor Swift as much as the next person, but I'm not going to say her songs aren't ubiquitously popular. It's like what it must have felt like from 1983 through 1994 with Madonna. I mean, she had
Then
just
they're ubiquitously popular, but your man card still comes into question when you do that.
all right. Well, I mean, Mad over here gets Like a Prayer
Oh.
stuck in his head every time someone sings the intro. So it's
That doesn't
basically
mean
the
he
new
likes
gener-
the song, though.
I didn't
criticized
say
it
that
quite
I-
a lot.
I'm not saying I like Shake It Off. I'm
And
just saying I know
Madonna
the song.
had a time where she was actually attractive. It's not been in the last 40 years.
I mean, I would say that Taylor Swift was as attractive, had a period
No.
of looking attractive.
Not
as
even
much as
not even close.
You can look at Taylor Swift and like, oh, she can't fuck. You can just look at her.
That is a strange looking boy.
Hold on. I think there's a really big jump to go from she doesn't look attractive to I look at her and I know she can't fuck. They're two completely different things. Like a girl can look cute and attractive and doesn't necessarily
You look
like,
at Taylor Swift and say that is a weird looking 12-year-old
Like
boy.
you look at her and be like, oh great, I'm gonna have to do all the work.
I don't
Like
I
being-
don't want to have this conversation anymore. I'm considering ending the episode.
Soul Assassin bringing our
She's a
favorite
real
line.
carpenter's dream. Flat as a board and in need of a
Call them
screw.
Baldies.
Ambien Bojan is in with Madonna is so hotter than Tay Tay. Well, you came
Was.
your era of Madonna that is stuck in your head is like 80s Madonna, so you're probably fine. I will say that Like a Prayer video Madonna is probably the most attractive I ever thought she looked.
Madonna at least had some curves.
Oh, I know
Drive
this
Led
song.
Zeppelin.
I don't think it's
And
Led Zeppelin.
It is.
It's Zeppelin.
Baby, do you like it?
I don't.
I
That
really
didn't
don't
sound
know what time it was. Whoa. It is Led Zeppelin. It's the one that's like walking in the park just the other day.
Jeremiah?
Oh,
Davina
it is
Taylor
so-
Swift special, 2 bony thighs, 2 small breaths, and a left wing.
it's not Dazed and Confused. Oh, what is the freaking name of the song?
Ooh, Soul Assassin coming at you. Is that supposed to be a cartoon version of Brahman Just Needs a Cigarette?
Screw you, Soul. I can't get to the name, but it's Led Zeppelin. Misty Mountain Hop. Yeah. And
Oh, Remember the Time, Michael
remember
Jackson.
the time.
Damn it! I thought it was power.
That was the video.
Power line.
No, it was Remember the Time.
Remember
Michael
the time,
Jackson.
Michael Jackson.
That was the one with Magic Johnson as the Pharaoh.
Yeah, I don't remember power line.
Oh, no, wait. Or no, Magic Johnson was the guard. Eddie Murphy was the Pharaoh. Powerline was from the Goofy movie.
And by the way, Misty Mountain Hop is one of the multiple Led Zeppelin songs that was actually about Tolkien.
Eddie Murphy was the Pharaoh. Amon was like the wife. Yeah, it was good.
AC/DC, You Shook Me All Night Long.
Yeah. Let's see, Powerline, the super group that made Bang a Gong. I don't know.
Get it on, bang a gong, get it on.
American Pie.
American Pie, Don McLean.
Don McLean, yeah.
But the movie's American Pie that they're going for.
No, it wasn't in American Pie.
No, they're looking for a movie title.
No, they were, this song wasn't in it. Yeah.
The Day the Music Died.
No, the main song that they used in the American Pie trailers and movies was the
Flagpole Stephen.
No, it was the song where it's like,
Harvey.
I need to get late. My bed is on fire with passionate. What was the
My bed is on fire, with passionate.
passionate
Was it
love.
Flaming Lips?
Flaming Lips? Yeah, that was the song. It was in all the trailers and in the movie. It was a real good sync up of song and film.
Yeah.
So. Although Weird Al's version is still superior, actually, for The
Yes.
Saga Begins.
If you hate to go to school, you may grow up
It's
to be a mule.
Dean Martin. Is
No,
it
it's
Dean
Frank
Martin?
Sinatra.
It's Frank
Swinging on a
Sinatra,
Star.
Swinging by a Star.
No, it's
He was
yeah.
swinging on a star.
Swinging on a
Swinging
Star.
on a Star. Bing Crosby.
From
You may grow
Bing
up to be a
Crosby.
mule.
Yeah, Sinatra.
What
did
movie, though?
Hudson Hawk.
Exactly.
Sinatra did the more famous version of it, though,
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
which is maybe this one doesn't have the copyright for YouTube, but or it was the original. I guess you go all the way back to the original, but Sinatra's cover,
Yeah, because they all copied each other over and over and over back then.
Bride of Slender, yeah. Well, crooners, there was what they called the Great American Songbook. So a crooner would basically do the same songs as every other crooner.
But it wasn't just crooners. It was, I mean, you'd have a song come out and you'd have 3 versions of it within the next 3 weeks back in the 60s and 70s. Everybody would take their turn at it and be like, yeah, let's see who goes bigger.
I mean, you have the Beatles doing With a Little Help from My Friends, and then with Ringo. And then Joe Cocker's like, fuck
Joe
you.
Cocker.
It's my song now.
I could do it better.
He basically did the line from like, is like, look at me, Ringo, look at me. They're my friends now.
I am the captain now.
I'm the captain now. This is my version.
Sultans of Swing, Dire Straits.
Dire Straits, yeah. Yep. It
We
is
are the
interesting
Sultans of Swing.
when the cover becomes the better version and like superior one
Well,
to the original.
When it becomes a theme song for a beloved show, that also helps it.
Oh, for Wonder Years?
Yeah. People heard it constantly every week on the Wonder Years.
Dude, I did not realize that they actually linked the new Wonder Years to the old one.
I didn't know there was a new Wonder Years.
Yeah,
I
you didn't.
Don't want to know.
No, it was interesting. Yeah. The old Wonder Years is like class. I mean, is plus Olivia Dabo was super hot. So she was it's weird when you realize she was in Conan the Destroyer as the princess, and that she was also like the older sister.
She was hot, but that overbite was ridiculous.
Did you see her in, like I think the movie is called Greedy. It was a Michael J. Fox movie with Kirk Douglas.
I'm sure I saw it, but
She
either way,
looks
the
amazing
overbite
in
is
that.
ridiculous.
She's English.
I don't care. Fix your teeth.
Her teeth were fine by Greedy. Go watch that movie. She was
Okay.
like super hot in that. Aerosmith. Dream On.
Aerosmith, Dream On.
No, Eminem, Dream, his version.
I have no idea what the new Wonder Years controversy is. Yeah, everyone. It's sad that Aerosmith is not going to be touring ever again now. So that's
Why?
I guess what's his name? Tyler's voice is just his throat. Whatever
Finally
issue he
destroyed
had,
his throat.
It finally just gave out completely, and they can't treat it. And
Did he go down on Catherine Zeta-Jones?
No, that was Michael Douglas.
Well, I know, but I mean, I'm sure she's been passed around. School or no, Jailhouse Rock. No,
No, it's Rock Around the
Rock
Clock.
Around the Clock tonight.
The artist is
Stray Cats.
well, that was the new version. This is the original one from like the 50s. I don't know the artist. It's gonna be one of the old 50s guys.
The Hollies.
Bill Haley in his comments. Yeah.
Oh, FKHC got it.
Yep, there you go. Bill. Was he one of the ones who died in the? No, that was the.
No, that was
Bopper,
Buddy Holly, Big
Buddy
Bopper.
Holly, Richie Valens.
Yep. I bet it all.
Yeah.
I'd like to make it a true daily double, Alex.
Oh, it's Black Sabbath.
Iron Man.
Iron Man.
Black Sabbath.
Yep.
All right. My new total is like $33,000.
I love that Slender and Matt have just checked out completely.
Well, Slender's
here
playing
listening.
Elden Ring.
I
I'm
mean,
gathering.
I don't know if you
I'm-
guys noticed, but I got Swing Upon a Star before any of you.
Yeah.
but you
I'm
weren't even
gathering-
listening anymore. So I'm like, they're just gonna talk over each other and try and be the one who answers first. So I'll let them play.
gathering stuff for a project.
Share time after
Time,
time.
time after time.
If I could turn back
turn back time.
time.
It's actually
Turn back time.
If I could turn back time.
Was that the video where she had her ass hanging out?
That was the one on the aircraft carrier with the bodysuit.
Where she had her ass hanging out.
Sure.
I mean, that's how you have to attract sailors.
Well, normally it's a thong, but not at her age at that time.
I mean, she was still fairly attractive, but that was like 87.
No,
Yes.
this was
no.
later than
3
that.
years old.
No, Turn Back Time was like 87.
Yes.
She was young when she started dating Sonny Bono. So she was only like in her late 30s, maybe 40.
That was in the 60s.
All right, let's see. Share.
Oh man, I should have never said nothing.
You deal with it. We're... All right, let's see if it actually says when she was born.
I bet she's in her late 40s, early 50s at the time that If I Could Turn Back Time came out.
All right, so she's... So, now I got to find the release date for Turn Back. She's had a lot of albums, I'm sorry.
It's before she went with auto-tune. If you believe in love.
Right. Turn Back Time came out in 89. So she was 43.
Yeah.
So that's fine. She's still perfectly reasonably attractive at that point.
She wasn't reasonably attractive at any point.
You didn't think Cher was attractive like in the 70s?
No.
I think you're being a little harsh.
She was a gypsy, tramp, and thief.
I mean, you're going to talk about Madonna being ready to fuck and not Taylor Swift.
There wasn't even a mermaid in the movie Mermaid.
No, she wasn't. No, there wasn't. There was a Winona Ryder who will be in Beetlejuice next week. And Christina Ricci before she had a 5 head.
There was a time she didn't?
Yeah, I don't think that can grow. That doesn't grow, man. It's not like old people in their ears.
It's not that I'm thirsty. I'm just reasonably able to admit that a girl was attractive. That's saying in 1987 Cher was still reasonably attractive is somehow thirsty? It's just honest.
Boy,
It's a little thirsty.
I think we're
It
really
might not be
stretching
like
the word.
Culture Casino levels of thirsty, but it's a
No.
little thirsty.
It is a Friday night.
I don't understand why it's an issue to say, like, you got Brahma over here.
You can be
who
attracted
like
to who you want to be attracted to. I didn't find Cher.
Nothing.
I didn't find Cher attractive at any point, and I think Taylor Swift looks like a 12-year-old boy. So,
whatever. Here, I'll just Bad Take Bojan, who has the official eye to like say, and we'll do that. In 1987, when that song came out, was Cher still attractive? When she had gotten the thumbs up for Good Take Bojan for him to look at?
I don't know why I thought you were asking AI.
No. I mean, I
hey,
guess...
Grok, was Cher hot in '89?
No, and whoever thinks that is thirsty as fuck. I don't know what Grok sounds like.
I don't think Grok has a voice yet. I know that ChatGPT tried to rip off Scarlett Johansson's voice.
Yep.
And then she threatened to sue the shit out of him. So
they didn't try. They
did. That's yeah. All right. Well, because they were doing it. What was the movie Her? Was that what they were ripping off? Because she did a voice in them. Yeah.
All right, we're down to 4. Can't Buy Me Love. Beatles.
Yep. Ooh, the intros where we don't have anything else. Should I stay or should I go now? By
Darling, is that the Kinks?
The Clash.
Clash. Same freaking band.
I mean, not really.
Everybody mistakes them for each other all the time.
Who mistakes the Kinks for the Clash?
Me. Shut up.
You. That's
Move on.
You're everybody.
Sound nothing alike.
Yeah.
Nothing.
You got Imp agrees, Clash. Like all of chat is saying Clash.
We got Imp to actually participate, though.
I happen to like the Clash. That's why.
That's how bad your everybody does. Even Imp was like, no.
Man on the Moon, REM.
REM, yep. I was at a concert when I learned that Hootie and the Blowfish started as an REM cover band.
Gross.
Man, I never.
Well, I
got
guess
a
Slender's
like
not
that.
ending the stream anytime soon.
Yeah.
Where'd he go?
I don't know. Same place you went earlier when you just disappeared.
I accidentally.
Yeah.
You hit back?
No, I was moving a video over, and I put it on the wrong tab. The whole thing.
All right. I guess we don't need to wait because he doesn't care.
No, he's playing Elden Ring.
Probably hasn't even noticed.
One hit wonders. Come on, Eileen. Dexy's Midnight Runners.
It is Looking Glass
Brandy.
with Brandy.
You're a
Yeah.
fine girl.
What a good wife you would make.
That's the #1 song from Yacht Rock from just a few weeks ago that I
Yep.
guessed before it even came on. Hey, there's Slender.
The sailors say
Brandy, you're a fine girl.
All right, real quick, the joke about the Scarlett Johansson voice. The one funny part I've liked the last couple of years on SNL is when Colin Jost and Michael Che will write jokes for each other that they haven't seen till the night when they shoot it live. And it's some of the most offensive, terrible things. It's hilarious. So
You've actually watched SNL?
Yeah.
New data shows that middle school students have only made up a third of the math skills they lost during the pandemic. Their math was so bad they didn't get it when I texted them, you plus me equals 69.
As you can tell by all of our reactions, they're killing it.
Yeah. Bear in mind that this is Scarlett Johansson's husband. So
You put it in text. Chat. Oh God. Chat GPT has released a new voice assistant feature inspired by Scarlett Johansson's AI character in Her, which I've never bothered to watch because without that body, what's the point of listening?
Okay.
That was funny. But she stepped way down from Ryan Reynolds.
But right there with the big shot of the wedding ring too, as he's saying it. It's so like I guess it's been a running gag where every year he puts in like a super Scarlett Johansson joke that he has to make. But that was a good one.
My favorite though is when they do Big Puppy. You like poodle? Like poodle? Big lunch. Big Puppy's the best.
Let's see if there's.
You afraid of monsters?
I'm gonna have to reset my router after this.
Yep.
So, you got a little more there.
So Rabbi Jill, if you're here, who's controlling the weather?
Yeah, they brought in a rabbi for him to make a really offensive Jewish joke.
Ha 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 ha.
No, they got some worse because they did some like Palestinian ones, but I don't want to get copyright struck because NBC and
Yeah, they
Peacock
don't
will
fuck
do
around.
that. They will
Take
your channel out.
You can barely find an SNL skit on YouTube half the time if
That
you're
what?
searching for a specific one.
All right.
They're all over the place.
And then they get taken down.
Well, yeah, if you're going to like some bootleg place.
So Soul Assassin says went from a winner to a rebound relationship. So that's another alleged thing that apparently Blake Lively stole out Ryan Reynolds while he was with Scarlett Johansson. That's another bitch thing that she was doing.
God, I'm gonna have to watch so much of this fucking movie.
Which movie?
Which movie?
Gandhi.
I've picked one that is also like 3.5 hours long too. which
Yeah,
is
I
great.
noticed.
You said any movie. You didn't
Yes.
I mean, it's not like I gave you Schindler's List to really make it difficult.
What? That would be easier.
How the hell would making Sabotage to Schindler's List be easier?
Oh, come on now. That's pretty much the whole point of the movie, right?
Right? That's like
Soul
on theme and
Assassins.
everything.
Soul Assassin's asking for tomorrow's teachings.
Oh,
That's a
I didn't
speakeasy.
see. I didn't send you guys the screenshot of. Can you bring it up? Oh, here, I'm right here. The thumbnail for the next one to premiere is bananas. Hang on, I'm about.
That's always a
here we
good
go.
sign when Mad thinks it's crazy.
Oh my God, is it already out? It's
The
already
evil
out.
clan abducts black kid. Watch what happens next.
Do you see the thumbnail though?
Oh yes. With I'm gonna
Hang
share
on, I'm sharing it. It's a tough one.
with the fried chicken on a string, which
I
oh,
mean,
no.
okay. Yeah. That's on brand for them.
That is
Yeah.
awesome.
That the kids vape explodes. You won't believe it. Is very misleading about where that video.
It does explode though.
Yeah, I should have given him a Russian War and Peace like adaptation to watch.
Oh, ooh, dude, Notes from the Underground. Too easy. 'Cause I've read that.
What would be? Gandhi is a good one. I'm trying to
No,
think of another.
don't try to give me more. I'm doing this one. This is the one we agreed to
the
do.
the
This is
bridges
one I'm
of
doing.
Madison County.
Too easy.
So I'm like,
He sabotaged. He killed himself. Right? Isn't that what happens? I don't know.
all right. Well, I think we've hit the tip. Slender's internet is starting to go sideways. We did our music trivia. Hopefully you had fun. Thanks everybody for being here. Everybody with a right mind who isn't going to be tortured, do not watch Rings of Power season 2. Just come back. Just come back to our show, and Slender will have slide decks about how terrible things are. Next week maybe we'll have trivia that causes Imp to look at Brahma differently, just like tonight. Like, why, Brahma? Why? Saying that the Kinks and the Clash are the same band. Everybody says. Everybody says that. Who's everybody? Me.
The hell are you talking about?
All right. So thanks everybody for hanging out. If you can, please share the stream, like, subscribe if you're not already. I know most of you pretty much are if you're in the chat tonight. But if
Come
you
hang out
can-
Sunday morning with us.
Yep. Does anybody want to promote? Mad, do you have a speakeasy or anything coming up that you're worrying on
Probably,
besides?
but I actually, yeah, I would like to promote. I got a brand new Sabotage trailer coming out where I do Gandhi. Coming
On
soon.
your new nameless channel?
No, on this one because it's gonna be copyrighted.
Oh, okay.
Brahma, yeah, I'll put it up. I don't mind.
Oh no,
copyright.
sorry, I didn't mean your channel. I meant mine.
Oh, okay. Brahma, do you want to promote the Sunday show? more?
Sunday, the bullpen, 10:30 a.m. Mountain Time, which is 11:30 Central and 12:30 Eastern. We will be talking about Kamala's fantastic interview where she didn't lie at all and told us a whole bunch of policy stuff. And
Oh, I tell you what, grammar can trip people up.
We didn't
right?
watch
Like,
the same interview, huh?
Tim Walsh.
I'm a World War II vet. Oh, I'm sorry, my grammar. I just,
yeah.
when I speak sometimes, I.
When I tell a lie for 20 years, it's mostly just grammar. That's
By the way,
screwing me.
Brahma, did you see the new drop
These
that
damn
they
prepositions.
found like his brother's Facebook where he's calling Tim Walls a piece of shit and he would never let him make decisions because he's
and he donated
such a
to
terrible
Donald
character.
Trump in 2016.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, Southern Belle. She totally worked at a McDonald's somewhere
She
at
was
some
the fry
point,
person.
sometime.
She knows what McDonald's is.
McDonald's has McDonald's has no record of her working there. She never talked about working there. She signed applications to other jobs that required 10-year job history,
Seriously, though,
where
Wait.
she
save
never
it for the
wrote it
show
there.
on Sunday,
Wait,
man.
she was employed as the ice cream machine at the McDonald's.
I mean, to be fair though, it has to be in her book, right? Didn't she write a book about her life?
Yeah, her memoir? No,
Yeah.
not
I
mentioned
can't
there.
let you guys keep using up all your
So,
material.
are you
I'm
saying
ending
that?
it.
Are you saying Kamala